Drivers, start your engines!
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Las Vegas in Season 6 of the TDR Vets and First Responders League. I'm joined in the booth tonight by my lovely wife, Janelle Veldhusen. Janelle, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
What are your takes on tonight's race? We got some fast guys out here. We're going to have some fun. How are you feeling about tonight?
I'm feeling great about tonight. I have not seen the guys race at Vegas at all, so it will be interesting to get to watch this.
Yeah, we'll be joined by Jay Downham, the voice of TDR, here after a little bit. He was having a severe storm roll through his area. He's hoping to be on as soon as it gets past. Jay, if you're listening, stay safe, and we're thinking about you. And I believe Andy Shaner will be joining us in the booth at some point tonight. We're looking at some fast times up on top of the board. Brian Boyd is sitting there with fastest time at 31 seconds flat right now. Ethan Thompson's just shortly behind. Devin Zimmerman shortly behind. Ryan Walters still up there in the top four with newcomer Tanner Lee a quarter second behind. Robert Pardon, Robert Cochran's also up there in P7. Brad Youngman, P8. Stephen Green, ninth. Bradley Hunt, P10, and Chuck McDonald setting their P11 right now. But look like we got some fast guys out there. It's going to be fun. Still no sign of Ryan Shelton yet tonight. I haven't heard anything if he's coming in tonight, or I know he's missed the last couple weeks, but hopefully see him out there.
He has missed what, the past 3 weeks?
Last two, I believe. 2 weeks ago, I believe he had some air conditioning problems in his house, and last week he had something else come up. I can't remember, but hopefully see him out there yet tonight. Um, Either way, it's going to be fun here in Vegas. It's nice and sunny out there. Cars are going to be slipping and sliding all over the place. It's always fun being at Vegas. We'll see some guys gamble for gas like we always say and all that, and should be a fun time.
The one driver that's not here that we always question the gas gambling is Andrew Bisnet, so I wonder where he is today.
Biznet won't be at the race tonight. He is out of town. This is going to be his drop week. He had something going on, I believe, with the army that he's in. But I believe he's out there listening out there in YouTube world. And we talked last week. He might pop in as a special guest with us tonight. We'll have to see how that works.
That would be pretty exciting if he joined us in the booth.
Yeah, he sent us the video, as everybody would have seen in the opening of him playing taps at Gettysburg, and yeah, we played that in the opening. Thanks for sending us that, Biznet, and it's an honor for you to do that. I know it is. Uh, I know you enjoy playing your music there and all that, and playing taps has got to be an honor for you. So I hope all is good out there, and hope to see you soon back on the track. Hope everything's all going good. But
It looks like we have 5 more minutes of practice.
yes, we have 5 minutes and 20 seconds left of practice right now. And Boyd's still sitting on top of the speed charts here in practice, and it's running good. As I look at the YouTube chat, Terry Lloyd chimes in, Mission 22, Brian Boyd, car number 78, Mom, Aunt, Terry for the first time watching Tim. Good luck, Brian. So we got some Brian Boyd fans out there. Uh, Kelly Taylor chimes in, let's go, Boyd, you got this. And then you actually chimed in. So we're doing good out there. Feel free to chime in the chat. Let's have some fun. And, that's what we're here for. We're here to serve these guys. If these guys have served us for their lives, they put their lives on the line for us. It's an honor to share to honor these guys in this race that we do every Monday night.
So how many laps are we going tonight?
We are going 120 laps. So we'll be running some strong laps here at the mile and a half here in Las Vegas, and I'm guessing they'll end up going to the casino and cashing in the money on the bets they're making.
So I'm not familiar with Vegas. I'm assuming that they're going to have to do a pit stop, correct?
In my experience here, I'm gonna guess it's gonna be a two-stop race. It all depends on cautions, which we all know in these leagues there's usually hardly any. I mean, we saw a few last week at the high banks of Daytona with an exciting finish with a win by Andrew Bisnett. It could have been anybody's race, but the ending was exciting. I remember that, that's for sure.
Yes, I remember watching last week, and the ending was very exciting. It was anybody's race there.
Well, and that's Daytona for you. That's everybody's. It's anybody's race at the end of Daytona as long as you're there at the end. And we saw some fuel strategies there, which I'm pretty sure we'll see here as well. It's always good to see the fuel strategies and have some fun.
That yes, that is very true. And then Brad Hunt did chime in on the YouTube chat, which I'm gonna have to give him crap. He said, "What's up, fellas?"
Yeah, it's not just fellas up here tonight. We,
And then he
Brad.
said it's a whole different track than before. So was there an update done recently?
There was a big update a few weeks ago, and we have none of us have probably raced here since that update. So, Brad, you might have to fill us in on that. Maybe we can pull Brad down in the booth, and he can give us he can give us a little bit of a leeway on what he's trying to say there. I'll bring him down and we'll have a chat with Brad quick.
Sounds good.
Hey, Brad, it's Dustin in the booth. You got to read on me, bud?
Yo, what's going on, man?
Well, I saw you chime in on the chat, and you said it's a whole different track than before. What did you mean by that? We're kind of confused down here in the booth.
So there was an update done, like Janelle had asked on the on the broadcast, because I was like, I'm actually have it up on my phone, um, and it's a little looser than like 1 and 2. You can't drive it in as deep as you used to be able to without the rear end sliding out a little bit. So it should be quite interesting tonight.
So could that be a difference because of we usually race here at night? I mean, I don't know what the track state is for track temps down there, but is the track a little hotter, warmer than usual, and you're just not used to that, or do you think the setup changed?
I believe it's possibly the track.
Oh wow.
Because one of the guys, Brian Boyd, he ran like over 100 laps, and like he was just saying that it was getting like the rear end would want to slide out if you drove it in too hard.
Well, it's good news to have up here. I mean, we're looking at a 120 lap race. How you feeling about your race tonight? Not setting too good in practice right now, but you're never usually good at practice. You always wait for the race to put it out there.
Practice? We're talking about practice?
Right. All right. Well, we'll talk to you later. Oh, go ahead, Janelle.
I was gonna say thanks for the fellas comment, Brad.
Well, I was gonna put some other names in there, but I was like, I don't really have a nickname for Janelle, so I was like,
well,
I was gonna.
Fellas is kind of working now because Jay Downham has escaped the storm that he was having and has joined us in the booth. How you doing, Jay?
Hey!
Good. How are you guys? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're
Yes,
good.
sir.
All right,
Yeah,
Brad. I'm gonna let you get back up there. I know you're admitting tonight with Biznet's our absence, so I'm gonna let you get back up there with guys and have a good race. And we're excited to see what this race pans out on. I see we got at least one newcomer in Tanner Lee. We might have to talk to him later. So let him know. We'll probably talk to him later and get to know him.
Yeah, he's a buddy of Brian Boyd's. They've known each other for like over 10 years.
Well, maybe we'll have to bring them both down after the race and talk to them. So make sure people stay in Discord like you always do, and enjoy the race and good luck tonight.
Awesome. Thanks.
Good luck,
All right,
Brad.
have a good one, bud.
Thanks, Janelle.
So Jay, how's it going, bud? Nice to see you. Nice to see that you survived the lovely storm you were having. I don't know how lovely it was. You didn't sound too good in the chat about it, but hopefully everything's good there down in Florida.
Yeah, everything's fine. Like I said, we just had some lightning popping out there. Got through it just fine. I knew that it would end up, but by the time you had everything loaded up, locked, loaded, and ready to go, it's about that time. So as practice just ends, so I'm kind of running a little bit behind tonight. So I'm going to have to rely a little bit on you. I don't know where the picks line up, but we'll see after qualifying. But I know Ethan Thompson was very strong last time here. It was down to a fuel mileage race for sure last time we were here, so that could play out again tonight. So we'll see how things go.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting how this pans out. When you popped in, Brad Hunt was telling us how different the track is. and it's a lot slicker than what they're used to, and in the updates and all that's come around in the last couple weeks here in iRacing, and it might be a whole different show. I mean, Brian Boyd was actually on top of the speed charts there last time I looked before we went to qualifying, so this could be a whole different race. We still haven't seen Ryan Shelton. We'll see what happens there. I don't know if something came up, he couldn't race again, or what's going on in his world. Hopefully everything's good out there, and uh, so yeah, we'll
Yeah,
see what
no,
happens.
Ryan Shelton. I did talk to Ryan Shelton. He was in the Sunday Back Charities race Sunday morning. He stopped in. He didn't think he was going to be able to make it tonight. There's a lot going on personally with him. So he will not be able to make it this evening. He's going to try and catch whatever he can. But there's just a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that, he's got to take care of personally
Yeah.
in and around his house. So, but he'll get through it and we'll get back out here. And right now, got hot Vegas and
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty hot down there from the way they were talking, how they were slipping and sliding. It'll be interesting how these guys all pan out and race tonight.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I did a few laps of practice earlier today, jumped in one of the cars, and yeah, it's slick, it's hot, it's slippery. Definitely two going into one. You're sliding all over the place coming out of four. If you're not careful, I mean, I pretty much had to stick it on the high side, just keep it from spinning out. But you get on the gas too early, it's going to take it and really make that car loose. Maybe these guys can adjust on it. Work on a little bit of the steering ratios, get it to where they want it to go, a little bit of trail braking, try and straighten it out. And I think after a few laps, they may be able to. 120 laps, I was able to go 62, I think was my fuel mileage, given any yellows, barring anything else that goes on. So maybe at 120 laps, I mean, that is about 65. That's going to put it right on the edge to make it a one-stop race. If anybody can make it past lap 65 on the first run, I think we're going to see a one-stop race. If they go any earlier than 3 laps before that, I do think they're going to have to go 2.
Well, it's good information to have. Me and Janelle were trying to talk about the fuel mileage and stuff, but we weren't sure. I'm glad you got out there and was able to test it. That's going to be amazing. We'll see what actually happens here. We were talking right before you got in, is Andy Biznett is usually our fuel saver, and he's not here tonight. He's off and about, and he chimes in. Good luck tonight, everybody. Andy, we miss you. Thank you personally for that TAPS video that you sent us. Played it during the opening. It's always an honor to have you with us in TDR. You're a great admin and everything. We all appreciate you, what you do for this country, and stay safe out there, bud.
Absolutely. We're going to miss you, Andy. Good luck in your training. I know it's once a year. He usually misses a couple weeks, but I think he's only going to miss one. So we're good there. But as far as the rest of the guys out here, man, it's looking hot. We still got, I saw Devin Zimmerman earlier on there. He didn't put down a lap time yet. So maybe he's working or doing something to try and adjust. Maybe wait until later on in the run to make that run. Ryan Walter, who has the win here in this car. But the last time he was here in this car drove like a dream. You could put it anywhere. Dustin, you and I were both in that race. You could put it anywhere. You could do anything with it. Now they're sliding all over the place. They did quite a few major updates from the last time that they were here and the last time that Ryan Walter won. But he is sitting on top of leaderboard with Brian Boyd, who ever since he came in, he's been really strong and putting it up front. So it's going to be good to see that Mission 22 boys try and work together and keep it up front. Ethan Thompson snuck in his first win last year from his Route 2 championship here, and that was a fuel mileage run. So it's going to be who can conserve, who can save, who can get it to the end. And yeah, like I said, there you go. We see the 76 car hit that outside wall there. That's Tanner Lee, is one of the newer guys out there. Raced with him, I think, just a couple times. Newer guy to the TDR league and out here tonight. So, and there you go. There's that looseness that I was alluding to. You cannot get onto that gas. You have to kind of let the car roll through that corner, and it's hard to do as a race car driver to try and ease off that gas because, man, I'll tell you what, your foot just wants to go down no matter
There it
what.
goes.
Well,
So,
you touched on that perfect, Jay. I mean, your foot just wants to go down. You think, sometimes slow is faster, we always say, but you just want to keep going faster. You don't care how you get there. You just want to go.
right? And that's it. And it takes patience to push that gas pedal down, and you're going to have to kind of ease onto it. So those that can do that save their equipment there at the end. But yeah, it's going to be hot, tight, and loose. I mean, you're experiencing all sorts of emotions out there, so it's going to keep it all in check. So far, there's only 8 that put a lap down. 4:22 left to go in qualifying. I believe if we have enough time, we should get our sponsors out of the way, and we can focus on the rest of the race tonight.
Yeah, we're missing our sponsor guy, Tommy Aber. He's got some work duties. Are you freshened up, ready for this, Jay?
Well, I'll give it my best shot. I'm not going to guarantee anything because, like I said, our spokesperson is out this week, so I'm the fill-in. So I'm the voice of TDR, but not the voice of all of our sponsors. But I will try and give it our best shot. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you'll do a great job. We'll start with always as with B&B Wraps.
B&B Wraps, from coffee cups to semi trucks, and also the makers of this TDR Vets and First Responders trophies, giving out 2 or 3 so far. You can see them, catch them on the Facebook as they made them for them. Devin Zimmerman has one out there, as well as Ethan Thompson. So anytime you need anything wrapped from real life, anything big, small, whatever, reach out to our friends at Jeremy and B&B Wraps. Numbers on the screen. Give them a call at any time.
McConey Setup Shop.
A man who needs no introduction, a man who's also put a lot of effort and given a lot back to TDR this last season, at the end of the season, if anybody wants to go back. And you'll see a lot of McConey Setup Shop drivers out there this evening. Ethan Thompson, Andrew Biznett, Ryan Shelton, and I know I'm missing one, and I'm very sorry who that is, but they've also picked up Devin Zimmerman right
Devin Zimmerman, yep.
Yep, Devin Zimmerman are all McConey Setup Shop drivers, thanks to all the work that McConey Setup Shops has done.
Also Brian Boyd.
And Brian Boyd, that's right. That's the newest one he's also picked up. So we've got several McConey Setup Shop drivers out there sponsored. So they got all the accolades to McConey Setup Shops. So if you want what they got, their setups, your victories. McConeySetupShops.com.
Back charities.
Back charities give back to back. That's one that without back charities, we wouldn't be able to, they're kind of the backbone as well. No pun intended there of TDR, with back sports. They put a lot on. So if you feel it in your heart, they do a lot of special events, give back to the first vets and first responders as well. They did do a procedure that they reached out to through your donation. So if you feel it in your heart, reach out and give back with back.
Well, wrap up our sponsors tonight. Good job, Jay. You always do a good job in that, filling in for Tommy. And we miss Tommy, and it's always fun when he's here, but it's never bad when he is here.
It's kind of where we miss Andy too. So our 2 spokes guys out there that bring in all the sponsorships. I'm good at calling a race. I'm not really good with, the sponsorship. They need to give us a script so we can go off of in case neither one of them can show up. But we do our best, and we thank all of our sponsors, obviously. Back Charities, Jeff McConey, and B&B Wraps. Those guys have been with the TDR Vets for First Responders Leagues from the very beginning. Continue to go on. If anybody else would like to go out and sponsor, please reach out to Andy Shaner at backcharities.com. He'll be more than happy to. We did mention that if you know any fallen first responders, veterans, anything like that have fallen in the line of duty, or just like to play a memorial, just a small donation, and we can dedicate a race to that person, and then that will always be up here. So we'll be glad to do that. Once again, that's Andy Shaner at backcharities.com. Just reach out to him, and he'll be more than happy to work with you. Whatever you can give would be great.
Yeah, actually, we were going through the sponsors there. Devin Zimmerman did go lay down a time, and he laid down a fast one. He's on top of the leaderboard. He overtook Ryan Walter. Talking to Brad Hunt right as you got in here, he, are in the pit road and talking to the guys, and they're like, Brian Boyd actually told me not to pick him tonight like I did last week. So then I go, well, I know who I'm picking at Vegas. And Ryan Walter said, don't do that. That bit you in the butt last time. So I guess, we're looking at times up there as we're getting ready to take the grid. Janelle, who do you have tonight?
Oh, you would ask me that.
Loaded question.
Yes. I'm actually going to pick, I'm trying to read the names here. I'm going to go Robert Cochran.
Well, Robert Cochran. Good pick. How about you, Jay?
Man, I'm telling you what, there's a lot of good names up there. A couple of winners here. We got Devin Zimmerman, Ryan Walter, Ethan Thompson, all have been proven winners here. Chuck McDonald as well. But I'm going to go out on a limb here. And I'm going to call Brian Boyd tonight as our first time winner in a Vets First Responders League.
So you're taking
So
my guy.
Brian Boyd, I believe Brian Boyd will be able to get it done. I have seen a lot of speed from him. I'm very impressed with him. Coming home third tonight in between Ryan Walter and working with Devin, even though Devin is working with Ethan Thompson. So, yeah, that's my pick of the week is going to be Brian Boyd. And I am 2 for 2, considering I got Devin Zimmerman at Dover and Andrew Bisnet in the wild card last week. So,
You're setting, you might have the lucky charm here in Vegas on picks. Yeah. So the question is, did you go put money on him at the Bellagio Sportsbook?
well, he's sitting right now at a 20-1 shot. So we're sitting pretty good right there. Devin Zimmerman and Ethan Thompson both come in at 5-2 odds. So I went with a little bit of a long shot there. Ryan Walter came in at just over 4-1, but I'm going with the 5-1 shot of Brian Boyd.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Bradley Hunt, the admin of the night. He's running the league tonight. Great guy. He's showing some speed. He was slow in practice. We were talking to him about that, but then he goes out and lays down that fast qualifying time. So we'll see how he does out there tonight.
Absolutely, and I do believe we'd had another person just show up in the booth. Andy, are you out there?
I am here, Jay. I wasn't going to miss gambling night. Come on now. You guys know me better than that.
We're talking about our picks here. You just got in here. You really haven't seen much. Do you have any sleeper picks for us tonight from the sports book that you were just at?
Unfortunately, I had my pick. I could change it because Jay stole my pick.
Yeah, Jay stole mine too. He's good at that. But he's on a hot streak. So if I would get picked by him, if I was on the track tonight, I'd feel pretty good. I know that.
And then I believe you took my second pick, Dustin. If you took Bradley,
yeah, I did.
My second pick. And who did Janelle take?
Robert Cochran.
All right, I'm gonna have to go with a guy who's won on at Vegas before. And I'm gonna have to go with Ryan Walter tonight. I'm gonna roll the dice, see if lightning can strike twice, and go with Ryan Walter.
Well, he is at 4-1 odds in the Bellagio Casino downtown. So
I dropped to 20, so we'll see what happens.
All right, well, I got a 5-1 at Brian Boyd, but like I said, I've been on a hot streak lately. Let's see if we can make it a 3-peat, go for the trifecta tonight. As these guys are rolling around, getting ready to do 120 laps here. Like I said, it's just over 60 laps in fuel, 62, 65 if they slow down a little bit. We know a few guys that can save fuel as well as we're getting ready to go green, and green flag is out, and here they go. And we've got Devin Zimmerman is going to take it to the bottom there, and let's see if he can keep it on the bottom, because I know that is very, very loose down on the bottom. You want to kind of get up a little bit as you see those cars just wiggle around there. Is Devin Zimmerman on top. Ryan Walter starts to fall back, but it's going to take a few laps for these cars just to feel a little even remotely comfortable as we're going down. And there you got Brian Boyd now is going to take over that second spot, sitting behind Devin Zimmerman. Go ahead, Dustin, take it away for a minute.
Yeah, Brian Boyd passes Ryan Walter for P2. Ryan Walter sets P3. And then Bradley Hunt sets P4. These guys are battling pretty good. I'm going to go back in the field here a little bit. You got Robert Cochran sitting back there in P6. Battling with newcomer Tanner Lee and moving up in the field pretty strong. Janelle?
Did we lose Janelle?
Janelle don't know what to say.
She decided to quit. She's not a gambler. She quit.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you now. Go ahead, Janelle.
Brian Boyd's taking the lead, or trying to take the lead.
Yep.
Yeah, computer issues. We won't go there.
Technical difficulties. That's what we love up here in the booth here at TDR at Back Sports.
Absolutely. As we got Brian Boyd to the front, Ryan Walter falls in behind. Devin Zimmerman's going to fall back, but he's going to go to that bottom side, take it underneath. Force Ryan Walter high, but I don't know if that's not too much of a bad move going high, because that's where you're going to save your equipment and it can ride a lot better. Especially going out there, but you get down on that bottom like you see there, that car wants to tend to get loose if you hit that gas coming out of 4. I did notice that in practice today as these guys are rolling around. Now we got 3, 4 down now. Brian Boyd, Ryan Walter, Devin Zimmerman now first, second, and third. Bradley Hunt still remains in fourth. Steven Green Ethan Thompson moves up 2 spots to take over Robert Cochran for 7th. Tanner Lee is up in 8th. Robin Pardon 9th. Brad Yuckman 10th. And Chuck McDonald is 5 seconds behind in 11th. But we all know Chuck McDonald does know how to save fuel. And I think that's what he may be trying to do, is trying to make this a one-stop race. So keep an eye on Chuck McDonald, as he will be our fuel mileage saver tonight.
Well,
I'm loving what I'm seeing right now, because Jay's pick is out in front, my pick is in second, and my pick has a tendency and a nickname to go along with it. But he just will run you over
Right?
for that spot. So look out, Jay.
Absolutely. As we see, Ethan Thompson there made a move on Stephen Green. So he's on the rise now in 5th. He's crawling up. So he may have gotten a lousy qualifying lap, but he is on the move. And we saw that last week at Talladega as well, as I sang his way to the front. I'm not going to sing again this week and see if we can call him to the front, because my pick is out front. So you can say the poultry word all you want. Tonight it's going to be zip, 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 zip.
Newcomer Tanner Lee's working his way up to the field too. It's good to see. It's good to see newcomers out here and battle with these guys. I mean, he's battling right now with Stephen Green, and they're having fun out there, and that's for sure. I mean, sticking around with Ethan Thompson is no easy feat, as we all know. We all race around him.
Absolutely. You see Stephen Green now go underneath of Ethan Thompson. He's got that low line working, so he must have figured out something with that car to keep it on the low side. And it is working as he's moving his way towards the front here, as we're working lap 7 of 120. As that, Tanner Lee just gets a little bit high. I'm not sure if he touched that wall, but we saw that in practice as well. He got high. So,
well, he's been watching him for a little bit here, and he's running that high line higher than what anybody else does. You know, a lot of these drivers are in the middle groove, running around.
Gets into the back and taps that outside wall. That's just going to hurt him a little bit.
It's going to hurt him a little bit.
Nothing exciting there, but yeah, that's just a product of the getting loose down in the 2. He hasn't quite figured out how to keep that steering wheel about as straight as you can get it and play with the gas.
Because we got the Mission 22 teammates battling it up front. You know, they kind of alluded to it last week and then let it out towards the end of the broadcast that, you know, because Ryan Walter changed that lovely number 77 now. We got the 77 and 78 team, the Mission 22 team. These guys are having fun, and they're going to battle it out. And last week, Ryan Walter actually got into his teammate. We didn't know they were teammates at the time, so I guess we'll have to see what's going on here. As Ethan Thompson's working his way up the field, too.
Yeah, everybody's working their way towards the front. Ethan Thompson remains in that 5th spot. He's about just under 0.3 of a second behind Bradley Hunt, but these guys are getting spread out now. Going to ride around a few laps. I think, if anything, you're going to have to kind of keep, if you're going to play the fuel mileage, we've seen it before. I would try and save it during the first stint to see if I can make it past that halfway point. Because once you make it past the halfway point, you know you got fuel to the end and you don't have to nurse it around and avoid running out of fuel. But if you're going to go ahead and not play the fuel game, then I say go for it, get out front and get as far out as you can, and then try and play it on the second. But just have to see what these strategies bring, as we all know that this has been historically a fuel mileage race. A lot of guys have won it on the fuel mileage, so we shall see.
Yeah, that's what it's been the last few times I raced here. Sorry, Andy, I cut you off. Go right ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, because we're at Vegas and everything's about betting and gambling here. I did try to get the insider information before I laid down my bet today, which is why I'm a little upset with Jay. I did talk to Brian Boyd today in his trailer, and he put in a good amount of practice, probably about a 400 lap practice over the week here at Vegas, in order to learn this track. This car is very, very tricky and slick at this track, and if you don't know how to run it, then you're going to have troubles. And we're seeing right now that practice is showing off. And just so you know, I did lay a little side bet down there at the Bellagio on Brian Boyd as well.
Well, that was probably a good pick. So we shall see how this thing plays out, as there's only 13 of 120. Guys are getting spread out a little bit here in Vegas, but as you notice, there's a big gap now forming in between Brian Boyd and Devin Zimmerman, Ethan Thompson. And we know Brian Boyd does have the practice around here. He did put in a lot of practice. Ryan Walter knows how to get it done. Ryan Walter won the autism race here in our first race, like I said, but that's when the car actually stuck to the track. You could go high, you could go low, you could put it anywhere you wanted to go. It has gotten a lot slicker since the last time he was out here, but that was an overtime finish, and Ryan Shelton wasn't. Ethan Thompson actually got around. They pitted, and that's how Ryan Walter remained out front and stayed, and that's how he won that race. So, question is now with 120 laps, 60 to 62 laps of fuel, that's going to put it right on the border. If you have to go any caution flags, obviously is going to throw that in there. 11 cars on track. As we see, Tanner Lee is now in the pits, so he's getting his repair after cracking that wall on the outside. Must have cut it again. Just trying to get what he can out of it, but sorry to see Tanner Lee go down. But as you're riding around with Boyd, you can see, yeah, they're right there. You're gonna, if you nail that gas right there, you're gonna get slick off of there, and then it's gonna feel nice and good down in here. You're gonna feel good going into 3. You can just let that car roll through that corner. And then right about here, if you start to hit that gas, it's going to want to shoot down to that inside. So it's going to start to dirt track it at rear end's going to start to come out around it. I mean, you're going to have to catch it if you hit a little bit too hard. But I see Brian Boyd's putting in a lot of practice, and you can see that obviously how smooth he is as he's leading this race now with a quarter second over Ryan Walter and just about 2 seconds back to Devin Zimmerman. Andy?
Yeah, so like I said, Brian's put in the practice. You can definitely tell, and he's given that information to his teammate. So those two are out there, and it's such a surprise because you look at Zimmerman and Thompson, who have dominated this series. They're just not even really close to these two that are up front. Of course, this is Vegas, so we still have to go back to the betting talk. Jay.
Yes, sir.
We're supposed to be announcing what the punishment is for you winning the bet last week.
I believe you, Dustin, and when Tommy returns next week, we'll be singing "God Bless America" at the start of the race.
Well, next week won't be. I'm pretty sure we're off.
Next
so
week,
it'll have
but the
to be
week
2
after.
weeks. Yep.
The next time we're in the booth, you're going to open the show by singing "God Bless America" as a trio.
There we go.
And I think that is awesome. And,
So do I.
And I hope Dustin, I know I came in a little late, but I hope Dustin was able to put in the new video at our opening tonight with
Absolutely.
Andrew Bisnet from the Vermont Army National Guard playing taps. I thought that was awesome. Phenomenal job by Andrew there.
Yes, and that should be a mainstay. I think we should keep that in the opening as well.
Yeah, it will be. It'll stay as long as Biznet gives us the honor of doing that for, if he wants to be in there, we'll see what he has to say. But pretty sure that's going to stay in the opening every week.
Right? As these two guys are just rolling around here. I mean, they put a pretty big. Devin Zimmerman did fall off a little bit. He fell back to just over 2 seconds. Is now back up to 1.5 seconds. So is that a product of Brian Boyd maybe backing it up and realizing he may be using a little bit too much fuel? Ryan Walter maybe in his ear saying, hey, you might want to slow it down a little bit. Fuel may be an issue here if it goes down to fuel mileage. Or is Devin Zimmerman picking up the pace?
I don't think it's a fuel thing. I think it's a tire thing.
Right.
You can put in a ton of practice.
As Ryan Walter goes down underneath.
Here we go. Here we go. Ross Chastain underneath.
And he's actually going to do it the clean way, not the hard way. Janelle, we have not heard from you this evening as he's going to fall back in line but tries to get underneath. So why don't you go ahead and call a couple laps, tell us what you see out there.
Yes, I was just going to ask you guys because Andy brought up tires, and we really haven't talked about tires. Is that a big issue in Vegas or not so much?
Yeah, you're going to definitely get the tire wear over time, especially if you're running the hot laps. And from what it looks like to me is that the front two are running hot laps, and it is definitely showing in the ones that may have conserved a little bit, starting to, break that gap a little.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is. They're going to get, because obviously the faster you run, the more you're going to scrub off of that front. Plus, it's slick out there. So, I mean, you're going to slide the tires, and tire wear will become an issue. The lower you go on the track, I noticed, the slicker it is. If you go higher, you can actually wear them just a little bit more than keeping them down on the bottom, but you have to be really smooth on the bottom in order to, but either way, top or bottom, it's wherever the car is going to feel comfortable, and either way, tire wear is an issue here.
Devin's been slowly taking that low line and reeling these guys in as he's on the bumper of Ryan Walter right now, and Ryan Walter's feeling the pressure.
That's what I'm wondering if because we know Des Devin now goes underneath. He's going to get underneath of there. It's going to be curious to play out. I'm actually going to wait until laps 57 to decide on what these guys are before I have any guesses. So
you got to start to wonder if the amount of practice they put in was like 20 lap stints, or did they do full tire stints on their practice laps, or did they run hot laps to see how fast they could get, what the fast line is, and how to control the car? Because right now, I would say Brian Boyd and Ryan Walters' tires are worn down, and Devin Zimmerman, who has just been cruising, is really on the move.
right, and that should be an indicator for later on in the race. Because you're looking at 24 laps, and we felt, like I said earlier in the race, that Devin Zimmerman fell back to just over 2 seconds, and now he's back up there fighting for the lead. That could be an indicator for these guys later on in the run, to know exactly what they have and what they're going to have to do the second half of the race to try and stay ahead of them and get the win tonight. Dustin.
As we see Devin going down on the inside and trying to make the pass, looks like he's going to clear it. Ryan Walter looked like he was going to follow through, but I'm thinking the same thing you guys are. They might not have did the full fuel run stints, or maybe Devin's just that little bit better on saving tires. I guess we're gonna have to see what happens here. This is gonna be interesting, as we're only a third of the way through this run, and watching people fall off. I mean, I'm looking at the lap times. I mean, they were running 30-second qualifying times. They're at 36 or 32.61 was Devin's last lap.
So there's not too much fall off as far as time, but you got to realize that maybe they are trying to just, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say right now what these guys are thinking. I can't get inside their head, and you got two teammates talking to each other. And Devin Zimmerman has been known to save his equipment, saving it to the very end. Ethan Thompson is another one. He's just maintaining that gap at 1.67 back. He's not really pressuring the issue to get up front. I mean, he did make it up to fourth. Did get around Bradley Hunt, but he's really not pressing the issue too much. So I'm being that this is historically a gas mileage or fuel mileage track. Who's gambling on the fuel and who's gambling on a yellow?
And I'm just curious when it comes to gambling. Is there in-race betting on this race? Because I might have to change or throw some money down on Zimmerman at this point.
if that's the case, I think you got to make a donation to back charities to change your bet. You gotta pay it. You gotta pay a little bit more.
I can make a donation. Is it a double up kind of? Throw 20 down on Zimmerman at this point and have to pay 40 to the charity. Is that how we go?
I don't know, Jay.
However you want to work. However
How
you want to work.
Yeah, however you want to do it. Are you going to double down on Zimmerman or just 20?
Well, I still got to stick with my guy Ryan Walter, who I think is really hanging in there tough. But here comes Ethan Thompson. I'm telling you, these tires are the difference right now.
Big difference. Big, huge difference. That's what's making this race what it's doing right now. And you see Ethan Thompson just slowly coming up on Ryan Walter. We all know that Ethan Thompson's good at saving his equipment. He's showing it day in and day out when we race this league. And even when we race with him in other leagues, he knows how to save his equipment. He's giving people tips on how to save equipment. That's where I've learned a lot of mine. So it'll be interesting to see, starting at, what did he start, Jay? P7?
Yeah, he started in
working
seventh,
his
and he's
way
up now to fourth. Yep. So he went up 3 spots.
I mean, looking at these four leaders right now, we saw Brian Boyd and Ryan Walter out front leading after, did Devin Zimmerman fall back on his own to save some equipment, let them burn up their stuff? Maybe he was gauging what would happen. It's hard to tell what's going through these drivers' minds as we're on lap 31.
Well, as Zimmerman is increasing his gap lap after lap too. I just think these two guys went out there. They ran too hard. This track, like I said, is slick. So with these cars being slick, you're going to start burning up that right front, right rear pretty quickly. So if you're not saving that, you really got to start backing off your corners, and that's where you're losing your momentum. And it seems to be playing out right now. As you see the huge gap that Zimmerman is really just pulling away.
Yeah, Zimmerman's been really smooth. He hasn't really changed his line. He's just hanging in there. Like I said, either, and I believe you're right, Brian Boyd and Ryan Walter pushed it a little bit too hard earlier in that run to try and get that big gap, and then slowly falling back, as we've seen Brian Boyd go high last time around turn 3 and 4, and now he's on the low side. So I'm just searching around, making sure that car is comfortable. Got probably another 25 to 30 laps before they start coming for that fuel and get fresh tires. So just got to hang in there and hope the caution doesn't come out.
Brian Walter's going to look to take over P2 right here.
Yep, Brian Walter. And there goes Ethan Thompson. So as you said, Brian Boyd is could very well be that when he did all the practice to try and learn the track, he didn't quite do the full fuel run and doesn't know how the car feels later on in the run. Or was just kind of hoping that that's what would have happened. But as we know, Ethan Thompson, Devin Zimmerman do know how to save their equipment. Ryan Walter is, as well. So let's see if we can just hang on here for another 30 laps. Re-rack, get started. Let's have a good pit stop. This is the track where I believe Devin Zimmerman's kind of overshot his pit. I've seen Ethan Thompson get a little sideways going in at this track. So it's going to be one of those, let's get in and off pit road. And that could be a difference as well towards the end of this race, especially if we go without any cautions. As now we see Ethan Thompson get down underneath, and he's going to take that second spot away. So now he's in second spot, putting Ryan Walter back to third and Brian Boyd. So I'm not sure if that might have been a move that Ryan Walter was making to try and help Boyd out, or if that was just a power move by Ethan to get up front. Janelle?
I think we lost Janelle again.
Yeah, she fell asleep again.
She fell asleep behind the wheel.
While she's sleeping, and we have a little bit of maybe a break in the passing game here. I'm gonna check out our Facebook chat. I do want to give some shout outs, and Terry Lloyd is out there tonight, rooting on Mission 22 and Brian Boyd, as well as Mission 22 car 78. She's here every week for Brian, so we appreciate her being here. Kelly Taylor, let's go Boyd, you got this. So it looks like the Brian Boyd fan club is out there. Ace May 3, let's go Boyd, thumbs up. So the Brian Boyd fan club is out there in the YouTube chat. Anybody else going for anybody? Let us know. We'd love to give you a shout out and talk about your driver.
Absolutely. And as we're rolling around here, 37 of 120 are in the books now. Devin Zimmerman, Ethan Thompson is now 3 seconds behind. So Devin Zimmerman's going out to a pretty substantial lead going into this. So if something should happen, he should remain on top of the leaderboard. But Devin's just constantly just pulling away. He seems to know what to do when he gets it done. Maybe he got mad that, he hasn't talked too much about him since Dover. He had a pretty hard week last week. So he's just trying to show his stuff. But we shall see. 38 of 120. I still believe in Brian. Ryan, and he got that sleeper Ethan who started 7th, who is a hard charger now, moved up 5 points or 5 positions to take over second. So he's on the run. And so Chuck McDonald also was a 7th spot. Him and Robert Cochran are battling out for 6 and 7, as Chuck got around Robert Cochran there a few laps ago. Things were going down 39 out of now 40, and those guys just going to ride it out. Now, here's the thing. Chuck McDonald is one that's going to probably save the most amount of fuel. So that'll be an indication if they can actually go past the halfway point. I would keep an eye on Chuck McDonald unless he decides to throw us all off and pit a little bit early. What would you be doing, Dustin, would you be trying to do it on the first run, or would you be doing it on the second run, trying to save that fuel if that was a strategy of yours?
I try to save it on the first run because you just never know what's going to happen. I guess in the second run would work too, but the second run, that's a gamble. If you don't get it saved enough, if you have to come in at lap 50 or, right like 5 laps before, it's kind of hard to save that extra 5 laps in that last run if you want to try to compete to win. So I would save it early. I don't know if I'd save it late. Knowing how these guys race, if I was in this race, that's because you don't see the cautions usually with these guys. These guys are clean drivers now that they're spread out with 11 guys on the track. It's always a gamble if you get a caution or not. We all know that they went how many laps last season without a caution. I think they went 4 or 5 races without one. So we'll
Right.
probably get back into that run again now. And I'm looking at Ryan Walters' paint scheme. He gave me a little talk about this the other day, and uh, never forget. I'm pretty sure he's talking about 9/11. Never forget that day and all that. I mean, the paint scheme looks sweet.
Yes, it does, and it looks very good on that. So, yeah, absolutely, we will never forget 2000 or 9/11, 2001, and horrible, horrible day in United States history when the trade centers were attacked, and don't forget the plane that went down in Pennsylvania, saving the White House. So, a lot of unsung heroes that were not more civilians that day than vets and first responders, and they should never be forgotten for all their sacrifices. Some were just innocent bystanders in a worldly mess. So, with that being said, absolutely, the car looks very great. And Andy, what would you be doing to save? Would you save early, or would you try and save later on in the run, hope for a caution?
Knowing this series, I don't know if I'm saving that much. I'm looking at Chuck. If he's doing the savings, looks like he's moved up some, possibly to saving tires and running a little bit lower. I don't know that you can make it up. Is my problem. You get too far behind early. You're gonna have to run it hard the second stint, and at that point, running it that hard on a track where you need tires, I just don't know that you make it up. I think you have to do your best to run up with the front runners in a race like this. That's what I would be doing. I would have ran it hard, or tried to save some tire, but I don't know if I'd be saving fuel.
Right. Yeah. Maybe fuel strategy races are always, and that's always in the back of your mind, especially when it comes to Vegas. Charlotte's also come down to a fuel mileage race. So and knowing that, like you said, the history of the
You just
series
have
where
to
you're
know
going
your
a
you
green
have
of
to know your
checker.
series.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah,
know
you
it
have
and
to
who
know
you're
your
racing.
series, and you're not going to get the caution. So, you're generally not going to get the caution. So, I don't know. It's a gamble. We'll have to see how it plays out. If that's what his strategy is, um, a couple extra laps. I know that kind of strategy really works on super speedways. I don't know how well it works on on something where you're gonna have to run it harder on that second half of the race where you need the tires.
Yeah, and like I said, we're running 13 seconds behind. That's a lot of time to make up, even if you are trying to save fuel. I don't think you can make up 13 seconds. So I kind of agree with you on that one there. So, Alexa just went off. So somebody triggered Alexa. She's giving me some sort of history lesson, I guess. I don't know what I said, but she's going off over there.
Lexa's always a good teammate.
Right? I'm telling you what. No, Brian Boyd has been, since he came into this series, has been very strong. He showed a lot of speed at Daytona. Came out here, pretty much took him a couple weeks to get his legs underneath of him, but to come out here and lead this race and put in the practice that he does. So he's put in the work. He's really not that far behind. He's still in third, a little over 6 seconds behind. So, I mean, he's still got that time, and Ryan Walters right there as well.
I can't help but notice we had somebody guarantee a championship, and is this not the third race he's missed?
Yes, and we did talk to Ryan on Sunday, and he is having a lot of personal issues going on at the moment. So he's going to try and get out as much as he can, but unfortunately, there's just a lot of stuff going on in and around in his personal life that he can't make it out every week. So hopefully he can get all that straightened out soon, come out here and just try and finish up this championship. But when he does come in, he could definitely shake things up. So I guess we'll have to look forward to season number 7 if he can get everything straightened out and come back out here and guarantee the championship then. So we're not going to get the Babe Ruth point to the outfield to guarantee the home run in 7th to win the World Series. That's not going to happen this week or this season.
Shout out and prayers to Ryan for whatever he may be dealing with. Miss him on the track. I would have loved to see the guarantee and see how hard he ran it, but totally understandable. And We hope him and his family are doing the best.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Another person that we don't see out there, and I'm kind of missing myself, is our Captain Paul Vosberg. Still dealing with those fires out in Arizona. I mean,
Mhm.
he's one that comes in, he can shake things up too. So, hearts out to you, Mr. Vosberg, if you're out there listening. Can't wait to see you back out here again and call you once again. So, as we got a little bit of an action going on, as Robert Cochran is now Stephen Green called Robert Cochran, and those two are fighting it out, and we've got Tanner right there as well.
Well, that is a nice little pack there. I was watching Chuck McDonald reel in Bradley Hunt because he's been reeling him in for the last couple laps, but you called out a good one there, Jay.
And there you see Stephen Green did go to the pit, and so did Tanner Lee, and they both got around Robert Cochran. So that just shows how much of the those tires do play around. Stephen Green was in 4 laps to go. Tanner was in 5, so they're obviously going to have to go on the 2-stop strategy because they were probably pushing it hard. We saw Tanner get up
Yeah.
into the wall, but
You saw
that
Robert Cochran just run up almost to the wall.
Right.
That thing's getting tight and really got to have to start backing up those corners as tires wear down.
absolutely, and that's where you're hoping that if you're on that 2-stop strategy, that you get a caution in between to catch you up to the field. But other than that, yeah, I mean, it's kind of a rough night. Stephen Green did come in early, so we'll just have to see as we're getting closer to pit stops. Any gambles? Anybody want to take a bet on when they're going to go? Halfway is 60 laps. They can go. What I saw, they can go 62. If anybody's saving fuel, I would go 60. I'm saying 65 before we start to see leaders take down. Anybody else want to take a bet on that?
You took
Oh, you
mine,
can't go
Jay.
any further than halfway. You can't go further
Yeah,
than
you go
halfway. If you can go to
halfway.
halfway,
60? You're going halfway?
tires mean so much. If you pit late, and that's the problem that I'm seeing with people like Chuck McDonald or Bradley or Robert Cochran that might be saving fuel, is once these other guys get back out on the track, if you're saving fuel and going longer, they're going to be out there on you're already 14, 15 seconds back. Guys on new tires are going to extend that on you, and there's no way you're going to make it up at that point.
If I knew I could go 62 laps like you're saying, Jay, I would come in at like lap 58, 59, maybe to get into pit road a lap before everybody else, just to get that time on the track.
All right. Okay. Well, we got 58,
Yeah, because if you
59.
can run new tires on everybody running old tires, you're going to gain that time, and they have to make it up. They have to push that car to make up that time. They're losing to you on new tires.
All right, as we see Devin Zimmerman now put Robin Parton a lap down. So that would be the first guy on the 1 lap down. That would be Robin Parton. So now that Devin lapped you, would you come in or would you stay out, try and get that 60 to go and halfway and try and make up time there? Right now, he's the only 1 lap down, but Stephen Green did pit early, so he's 2 laps down, and Tanner is 7 laps down, but he had some issues in the pit. So Brad Youngman is our next one in danger of going a lap down before the halfway mark here at lap 57.
And I know Janelle was trying to chime in here, so let's hear what Janelle's got to say.
Yeah, come on, Janelle, what do you got?
Well, Dustin actually took what I was gonna say because I was gonna say if I would be gambling, I would come in early to actually catch up to the leaders instead of pitting later. But that would be my gamble.
Okay, well, we're at lap 57 now, so Dustin says 58, 59. We're coming up on that. Let's see if Devin comes in at this point.
I'm
Andy
going
says
right
60.
at 60. Right
So
at
60, 61 for you, and I'm going about 65. I'm going to push this out a little bit further and see who's got it because you're going to be fresher on at the end. So with that little bit of time, you may lose, you may pick it up at the end.
Yo, with
I
your
took
like,
Brandon Bellagio. I slapped a 20 down on lap 60. Let's see how that goes.
as Robin Parton does hit the pit road now after going that lap down, he is dropping into pit road.
So there you go. So he does go that lap down. That's a main route that a lot of the real life drivers take when they go that lap down. They go in and come in and get their pit service and hopefully get that extra speed to get up back on the lead lap and then hope for a caution. So that is something that is done in real life, as Robin Parton now is in at lap 58. So you got one taker at 58.
He's coming off pit road now.
And there's Brian Boyd that we see on screen. He's 15 seconds behind the leader. So let's see how all this plays out. We are at lap 59. So next time by, we should be Devin Zimmerman if Andy says he's going to come in and
And
halfway. Let's see.
yeah, he just went past the start finish line. He's in turn 1
Halfway
right
this
now.
time. So halfway this time. Next time by, I'll be halfway. We got 60 out of 120. Devin Zimmerman maintaining a 5.5 second lead, almost 6 second lead now over Ethan Thompson. Brian Boyd fell back to 17, 18 seconds to Ryan Walter. Chuck McDonald actually just got around Ryan Walter as we were discussing that. So
Devin keeps
Ryan,
going. He's still racing around the track.
so there you go. So lap 61, halfway this time. So let's see, actually halfway. Andy did call halfway. So officially, it would be the next lap around as we see Ethan Thompson also take that halfway mark. 6 seconds behind. These guys are starting to fall back. But I do believe when Devin comes, they're all going to come. They're not going to have a choice because they're going to lose way too much time, especially if you're more than, especially that 17-second back as we're watching Brian Boyd now. And Chuck McDonald now gets around.
He's moved up to
Brian Boyd.
P3. Chuck McDonald's having a strong run. He saved those tires early in the run, and he's just flying up or coming up the track. You know, he is 18 seconds back, but, you know, setting P3 is still not a bad spot to be in.
No, he's basically been maintaining that gap as Brian Boyd and Ryan Walter start to fade.
So
But
Ethan Thompson comes in.
Ethan comes in. All right, so Ethan takes your.
So
And Brian
he
Boyd
took
is
Brian
in.
Boyd, and I'm going to bet Ryan Walter will be right behind him.
And then I guarantee Devin Zimmerman will be in the
And
next up because he's not going to lose
Ryan
that
Walter
time.
didn't.
All right,
Ryan Walter didn't.
So do I win this bet with having the most amount of people coming in?
Sure, you win. Yeah, you win the bet. So there you go. So yeah, absolutely, you got just over halfway.
Andy, you better go hit some slot machines in Vegas while we're here.
He's got to have a secret passageway from the racetrack to the Bellagio because he's going back and forth way too fast.
So
Yeah, he's got his
you
he's
know.
got his bookie. He's got his bookie up
got
there.
his-
I got the bookie. I
Here
got the
comes
bookie
Ryan
on
Walter.
speed dial here. So yeah.
So Ethan Devin Zimmerman still has not pit, and all these guys are coming in. Ryan Walter hits pit road. Ethan Thompson took his pit stop. Bradley Hunt was in pit road. Robert Cochran, Brian Boyd. Devin Zimmerman is coming in now. They kind of forced his hand, so I guess we'll have to see on how this all cycles out as Chuck McDonald should take over P1 as he comes around.
Yeah, and Chuck, we saw him just maintaining that gap. He was very slow, but we know, like I said, it was going to be him that was going to take it out. But if you look at it this way, 57 laps to go. Now you actually have enough fuel for the green-white checker. And if you save a little bit more, something should happen late. Some of these guys may pit. I think, well, they all might pit anyway, just get tires. But at least somebody will have fuel, maybe gamble on that later on in the race. If we do go into overtime. As now we see Chuck McDonald is coming around 18 seconds behind. Devin Zimmerman's in the pit right now, so he went in at 63.
Devin Zimmerman's just coming out of pit road, and Chuck McDonald's hitting pit road right now.
All right.
So right now, the only one that has not hit pit road, I believe, is Brad Youngman as he's hitting pit road now. So everybody should have got their service and stuff now, so we should be setting good. It's going to be interesting how this cycles through. With Ethan coming in a little earlier, it's going to be interesting how these guys cycle through as the timing loop catches up.
Right. So Brad Youngman and Chuck McDonald went the furthest with 65 laps before pitting. So those two did take it to. So I think just about everybody had somebody go on in the lap that they called. So I don't know how you split that, but Andy did have the most, so he wins that. Bellagio, congratulations. Make sure you pay out. And by the end of the day, you'll have a couple of big boys down there to collect for Andy.
Oh, don't you know? You know how I'm making these bets so quick. That's why Tommy's not here tonight. He's sitting at the Bellagio taking my bets for me.
And that's why he says he can't hear it.
Yeah, that's why he says he can't hear on YouTube.
Well, that. Yeah, Tommy's checking in. Miss you, Tommy. We wish you were up here.
Absolutely. I mean, but we got Andy up here. We got Dustin up here. We got Janelle up here. Janelle called an exciting race with us down at Daytona. She's been having a little bit of issue tonight, but hopefully she's got that worked out and we can hear a little bit more from Janelle. Janelle, it's great to hear a woman's perspective on this. So why don't you give us a little bit of what you're seeing, what you're going to call, anything else you see now that we are 55 to go?
Well, it looks like since the pit stops, they've kind of all fallen back in line with Devin Zimmerman now in front, and then Ethan Thompson, and then Brian Boyd, Chuck McDonald, Brad, Youngman, is that how you say that? And then Ryan Walters back there, and then Bradley Hunt, Steven Green is in 9th. I don't see. Oh, Robert Cochran, my pick. He is in 10th. He's a couple laps down. Shoot.
Well, the
Shoot
race
for
is
you. Shoot for you.
the race is by
Oh,
far
boy.
not over.
Oh, I
And
know.
No,
Tommy Ebert says he's winning big.
I'm winning big,
yeah,
Andy.
He is. He's winning big because I keep placing the bets.
So
I know,
are you
right?
seeing the money out of this, Andy? You're telling him what to do, and he's cashing in.
Well, he better be
boy
spending that
better
on some
pay me
voice
or-
lessons.
He better pay me, or otherwise next weekend when he's at my house, he's gonna wait. He might wake up sore.
So we were
So-
talking about, sorry Janelle for cutting you off, but we were talking about how Ethan Thompson came in that little bit earlier. He gained about 3 seconds there, 2.5 seconds on that pit stop. But it all comes down in the long run. Janelle, let us know what you're gonna say there.
Well, I was gonna say, Tommy had made a comment. I don't know if anybody watched the cancer race last Wednesday, but Tommy made a comment that if they donated so much money that Tommy was gonna let Andy shave his legs or wax his legs. Now I was just curious, is that gonna happen, Andy, or don't you know?
I don't know if they got quite to the 4,200.
They got really, really close, so I'm gonna talk him into it.
I would, yeah, and make sure you videotape that, even though some of us might not want to see it, but make sure you videotape that as well.
Right? As we're rolling around, we got 51 to go. Devin Zimmerman, Ethan Thompson. Now, we know that they have enough fuel to go to the end, for sure. So, do you think Ethan's now going to put a little bit of pressure on, try and get back up there? Brian Boyd sitting there, he was 20, gained 3 seconds. We know he's quick early, but I don't know if he can make up a 17-second deficit and enough to hold off Devin Zimmerman or Ethan Thompson for the win. So, going to need that lucky little yellow flag to come out and bunch up the field, I think, for him to have a shot. But at this point, Devin Zimmerman, Ethan Thompson are taking over where they pretty much left off and showing us how to get around Las Vegas right now.
So we were talking about how Chuck McDonald was saving that fuel and saving the tires and worked his way back up. And as they cycled through, he still comes out in P4. He's having a strong run tonight. It's always good to see Chuck out there. He's running good, setting a strong P4. Maybe saving at the beginning is better, but, might not be good for the win, but it might be good for the positions.
Yeah, it is good for the positions. Also, don't forget, these guys are racing for a championship, so every point matters. But only with a small field, it's easy to give away, hard to get back, as we all know. And Devin Zimmerman has got we were sitting on a comfortable point so going into Daytona, but that was a wild card race. But like I said, with not having the kind of run that he really wanted as well, and Ethan Thompson was really running really strong, but just got into that last lap just incident there, we'll call it. And it's going to tighten things up a little bit more. The belts are getting tight as far as the points go, and every lap, every point matters. Leading a lap, you get a point. Qualifying on the pole, you get a point. And every point does matter, as we've seen that actually play out. And that's how Andrew Bisnet snuck into that 3rd spot last year, by just coming out. Ethan Thompson as well. I mean, I don't think Ethan Thompson had one drop race last year, showed up and won the championship. So points are very, very important in this series.
Terry Lloyd chimes in. 17 seconds is nothing for Brian Boyd.
Yeah, and we had another Tay. Tay has chimed in, and Tay says, I am for Ethan.
It is June, so it is Pride Month, so go Tay. That's right, show your colors out there. And hey, you know what? Ethan Thompson is a stud out there. He's a champion. He knows how to get it done, and he's a winner at this track. So as he's chasing down another one of our high flyers,
Jay
Devin
definitely
Zimmerman.
missed the
I
they skipped.
I know the verses just skipped, but I just, hey, you know what? To each his own. We're all inclusive here at TDR, so everybody is welcome out there, no matter what. The car is a great equalizer, as we've all found out. As Shannon Harton, if you do not know, Shannon Harton is our Rookie of the Year last year in our Friday Night Light series. She is a young Canadian driver, so only 16. She does drive in real life, and she was our Rookie of the Year last year.
And she is having a phenomenal time as a fresh real life race car driver. I know last week she was fast qualifier. Andy, you probably know a little bit more on how Shanna was doing, but she was running good a couple weeks ago. I don't know how she ran last week. Andy, do you have any updates on that for us with Shanna?
Well, the last one that I saw, she had won her heat and won her feature, which is awesome. And what is really cool is that if anybody comes out and runs the Friday Night Light Series with her, she's got a 22 car. It is white with 22 on it, and they have made her real race car look like her Friday Night Lights car. So that's really, really cool. And the Ethan fan club is coming in hard
Yep.
right now.
It
Yes,
is.
sir. Ethan is coming in.
We had Tay, who is I'm for Ethan, and CDs, go Ethan, go. Scheibel, Ethan is my favorite racer. Eddie Jarrett, let's go Ethan. So the Ethan Thompson fan club is in the building, and they are rivaling the Brian Boyd fan club. So I want to say we might have a fight in the chat.
We might have that fight in the chat coming up here soon.
Instead of a fight in the pits, it's a fight in the chat.
That's right. It's going to be like an all-out college war. We're going to have blue and orange going back at it as we got blue on Ethan and orange on Brian. So go ahead and shout it out. I want to see that coming back in chat. You guys are great out there in YouTube. If you're enjoying this broadcast, whether you like us or you might know somebody who might not like us, but hit the subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification button so that way you know when we go live and watch these guys battle it out week after week. I would love to see one of our service women out here battling it out and mixing it up with these guys and, you know, add a little bit of mix to that. So that's, if you know of anybody who is a current active military, a veteran, a first responder, have them reach out and join us and they can come out and we'll be calling you too. So thank you guys so much out there in YouTube land. We love calling these guys and yeah, you guys are great out there. So thank you for keeping us going. We appreciate every single one of you.
And you hit the nail on the head. Hit that subscribe button, guys. It helps these gentlemen here as we riot on YouTube to get these guys monetized because it's going to help them run the league. It's going to help the back charities raise some funds. We can get monetized. But yeah, that fight's starting. I mean, Shy Bull's coming in hard. Ethan, he's so fast. And Eddie Jarrett, Ethan wins or we riot. And then Ace May comes back. Go, boy, go. So there's going to be a
Kelly
riot.
chimes in.
Kelly chimed in.
Boyd, there you go. So we got a big fight out there. So come on, Boyd. Actually, guys, he's moved up 5 seconds. So he is on the move there. So, hey, keep it going, guys. You're cheering him on, and he is getting faster around the front there. Ethan Thompson's maintaining that 2-second deficit behind Zimmerman, but it's still 38 laps to go. A little bit too early to push it for Ethan Thompson, but hey, these guys start getting a little bit of racy. The cars start to go a little bit. They push it a little bit harder. Could be that caution coming out, that magic one that'll tighten this field up for the very end, but you never know. Here we go. 37 to go this time by Janelle.
Yeah, nice. Go ahead, Janelle. Go.
Yeah, it's really close. These last 30 laps have went by really, really fast compared to the first 60. I can't believe we have less than like 37 laps to go. Ethan is still ahead, but like you said, or not Ethan, sorry, Devin Zimmerman is still ahead, but Ethan and Brian Boyd are catching up to him. Who knows if they can catch him, because I believe if I see it right, he is quite a few seconds ahead of Ethan Thompson at this moment.
About 2 seconds right now is what Devin's ahead of Ethan Thompson, and about 15.5 seconds ahead of Brian Boyd right now. But anything's possible in this. I mean, we've seen crazier things happen in this Veterans and First Responders League. I mean, Jay, we've seen a lot of it over the last couple seasons, calling the races together, and you just never know what's going to happen in this race.
Right,
And
exactly.
Here comes Scheibel again with ETH and only.
And you're cheering
They're
them on.
not
They
even
are.
trying
They're
to
getting
sell.
closer. They are
Yeah.
getting closer as he dropped that deficit now to just over 1.5 seconds. So he's getting closer, guys. He's getting closer. Brian Boyd is
Keep cheering
also.
on your guys. Yeah, keep doing it. You know, it's helping these guys. It's like they're feeling the energy in chat. It's going right to their car.
And some of them are actually out there
Exactly.
listening and
You know-
watching. So that when they hear you guys out there cheering for them, may get that energy going, get that adrenaline flowing, and
So-
push them
That's
to the
right.
front. So keep it up, guys.
We're gonna keep reading on your cheers, so because a lot of these guys put the broadcast on while they're driving and listen. So keep it going. We got Pie Man coming in with Ethan. So
There you go. We got it.
Ethan's
Ethan.
fan club's coming strong.
So as we
I
ride
know that
behind
Boyd
Ethan,
fan club has kind of fallen off.
we're riding behind Ethan Thompson now. Is this much of Ethan pushing, catching, or is Devin maybe saving stuff?
Devin did pit after, so he was one of the last ones to pit. So he has enough fuel, he has enough tire to get in. He may be saving his equipment to the end in case Ethan catches him, so that way he has enough to fight with. But they should have enough fuel to go to the very end. I do not see this being a fuel mileage race now. I think it's a matter of attrition. I think it's going to be who can keep their car straight. We know it's slippery. We've seen these guys get a little bit loose, but they are running 33 to go, so they have a lot of time on these tires, a lot of time on the track, and maybe coming in, rubbered up a little bit. But the fall off is definitely happening now with these tires. So we're looking at about 26, 27 since they were last in. So they're definitely starting to feel that tire start to wear off, and it's going to be who can handle it till the end, who can manhandle it, which one of these studs can get to the front and battle it out, as these two have been known to battle it out at the end. So it's going to be, should be a good race if this keeps up with the gap closing down to 1.63. And Brian Boyd is now maintaining about 15, almost 16 seconds a lap, just depending on where you look on the track and how much these guys are letting off. Andy.
I'm just keeping an eye on this race and the chat because the chat is blowing up.
Chat is on
We got
fire
Ace-
tonight.
We got Ace May coming back with only 7 likes. Come on, guys, like the video. Absolutely hit that like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Guys, Back Charities funds this league. So hitting that like and hitting that subscribe is only helping them out. So make sure you do that. Shy Bull coming back 2 more times. Ethan fan only chat. Ethan is a huge stud and he has to win. We got Pie Man out there. Don't text and drive, Ethan. But the Ethan fan club is going bananas. And they are taking over the chat. That Brian Boyd fan club needs to come in strong, is what I'm thinking.
Right, where is the Brian Boyd fan club at? They started out strong in this chat, and they've kind of lit up a little bit here. I mean, you still, when you guys are cheering them on, you got within 15, you starting to fall back a little bit. Come on, guys, let's get it going. Let's cheer these drivers on. They come out here putting on one heck of a show. I mean, and we still got 29 to go, and anything can happen. It's not over until the checker flag falls, as we've all seen, especially at Daytona last week. You never know who's going to win that race. And the same thing for here. So you never know what's going to happen until that checkered flag falls and that person crosses the line. So is Devin saving his equipment, or is he just running it out, trying to stay ahead of Ethan? Ethan was closing, and now he's on the rise again as he's, just hanging out at the 1.6 mark. Should be starting to go here in about another 10 laps. He's going to have to start making his move if he wants to start charging in on that lead and see what he can get out of it. So we shall see, as we got 28 to go here. As the running order right now, Devin Zimmerman in first, obviously. Ethan Thompson chasing him down just over a second and a half behind. Brian Boyd in third, 16 and a half seconds behind. Chuck McDonald kind of fell back a little bit. He's 19 seconds behind in fourth. Ryan Walter fifth. Brad Youngman in 6th, Bradley Hunt 7th, Stephen Green 8th, first person 1 lap down, and the only with Robin Parton, who's also 1 lap down in 9th, Robert Cochran 2 laps down in 10th, and Tanner Lee 9 laps down, who had a little bit of trouble early, and he's just trying to find his way out there. So one of our newcomers in 11th, but he'll get his wings underneath him, and I'm sure we'll be calling him more towards the front as these seasons roll on, as we're watching Devin Zimmerman just try and maintain that gap back to Ethan Thompson. Every time he closes it in, Devin tries to hit that gas a little bit more, but he's coming up on lap traffic, and that may slow him down and cause Ethan to get up to him. Take it away, Devin.
The fire.
Or Dustin.
Dustin, the fire's going on in the chat. You want to read it out?
Well, I've been watching Ethan Thompson. He did get loose a little bit, so maybe he's using up his stuff. We'll see what happens. But in chat, I mean, everybody's going off of chat. Brian Boyd fan club coming back. Kelly saying Boyd. Shy Bull, they're afraid of the real Ethan fans. They talking to the boy chat. And Ace Mate Boyd go. Kelly Taylor, sorry, Shy, but no. Legacy Afroman, Ethan freaky fast, freaky fresh. It's just been fun out there. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's great to see,
Yeah,
guys.
the chat is on fire. We got a new one coming in. Did you hit Legacy Aftermath with? Yes, you did. And Tay's coming back one more time. Who's Boyd? Oh, never mind. He's behind Ethan. Oh, the shots have been fired.
The shots are fired. There might be a fight in the pits by the time this race is over.
Yeah, but it's all friendly chat. It's all banner. And as we come down, 24 laps to go. Anything, like I said, anything can happen. Now, Ethan Thompson fell back a little bit. Devin Zimmerman did get around Bradley Hunt, but it did take him a couple of laps to do it. And ever since then, he's kind of pulled out just a little bit longer. So, and
I gotta
maybe
be
it's,
honest, guys. I've never seen a rivalry spurred on from the YouTube chat, but we may have a rivalry on our hands.
There you go.
Very
So my
possible.
man, Shy Bull, Kelly, they're all going at it. So, there we go. We got some lively chat tonight. Thank you guys coming out to Vegas supporting us, man. We do appreciate a lot of stuff going on. It says, Boy does nothing on Ethan from Shy Bull. Pie Man comes back. If Ethan falls back, it's a strategy. Keep your eyes on him and watch the pro Shy Bull. Kelly, Ethan is a true lord. You will soon learn it. And Kelly Taylor, back off, Shy Bull. And then CD's rolls on with a smile. And I'll be back off when Ethan stops killing it. So,
Oh my
there you go.
goodness.
They're just
Oh,
going on
boy.
out there. So what a race we have
Oh.
going on. 22. These guys are really just.
Yeah, I
out
love
there.
you guys in chat. You guys are killing it tonight. Keep it friendly, keep it clean, like these gentlemen do on the track, right? Be respectful of all. Cheer on your boys. We love seeing it. We love seeing the rivalry.
Absolutely.
Just I don't want to see it going too far.
No, just we'll keep it clean. Like I said, these guys they'll admit it. We tried to create rivalries in the past and nothing's really happened until Ryan Walter actually stepped up and became sort of like our version of Ross Chastain and started running network help people. He hasn't made too many friends, but he did make friends with Brian Boyd, ended up getting on his team. And since then, I think he's taken that Ryan Chastain approach and said, okay, well, I just need to learn to be aggressive when when it counts. So, congratulations to Ross Chastain, by the way. I mean, he for noticing, but like you said, that's what they hired him for. And his drive. What do you do as a team owner when your team owner hires you to be that and says don't change, but you got to change? That's kind of got to be something on the inside. But that's what also brings these guys to the show. So I mean, you got to do what you got to do. But yeah, as we see, Ryan Boyd now, he's in a little bit of traffic here, and that could be why he's falling back just a little bit. I mean, so right now he's trying to get around Stephen Green.
Chat. Look out, gentlemen. Mama Boyd is in the chat says, go, son, go. Mission 22. And I talked in length with Brian this morning. I want to let you all know about Mission 22. It is something that TDR and Tyler Daners Racing will be getting behind and doing a charity event this fall with. So be on the lookout for that, and hopefully everybody can donate when we do that, because Mission 22 is something that we all care about.
Absolutely. And there should be, like I mentioned before, it should be Mission 0 is what it should be. I mean, there's no reason in the world why our heroes or any military throughout the entire world should feel the way that they do when they come home, especially after all the service that they give to everybody to give us our freedoms. That's why we're out here tonight, and that's why we honor these guys and love to show them all for you every Monday night here at 8 o'clock. Same back time, same back channel, back sports time. I'm on YouTube.
I love that, Jay. I love it.
As Devin Zimmerman comes down, 18 to go. He got around some traffic. Ethan might have got hung up behind. Looks like Bradley Hunt maybe a little bit. Fell back to almost 3.5 seconds now. So 17 to go. I think we may need to see one of those little yellow things on the end of a stick to come out in order to tighten this field up. If that doesn't
that would be
happen,
boy, would that be an interesting thing? But we don't have a lot of guys racing kind of real close, so that's probably a no go. But we got Shy Bull coming back at Mama Boyd.
no, Mama, no, messing with Mama
Sorry,
now.
Miss Boyd.
Yeah, don't mess with Mama.
Is the greatest. Ethan is the greatest racer on the planet. Oh my, yeah, we're gonna. That's a definite rivalry. You start attacking Mama.
You don't attack the Mama. Don't get Mama Bull mad now. She'll.
Don't get Mama Boyd mad. No, don't do that. We're glad to have you guys all out there in YouTube land, enjoying this race, having fun in chat. That's what it's for. We're all here to support these guys. They supported us. We gotta support them at somehow. So this is our way of doing it, and we love them all to death, and thank them all for their service every time we get to talk to these guys.
Man, speaking of loving people up here, we love Janelle up here in the booth because she gives us a perspective we don't always get because we're always listening to Tommy banner on about these tracks and da-da-da-da. So why don't you come on, Janelle? Come on here and we'll show a little bit of love and you can come on and call a couple laps for us. We got 15 to go.
Yes, 15 laps to go. Thank you, Jay. Devin Zimmerman is still ahead. Yeah, it looks like Ethan fell back a little bit due to lap traffic. I don't know if he got behind somebody or what happened. It looks like Brian Boyd is a little bit closer to Ethan than he was before. So hopefully maybe the lap traffic that Ethan got behind got Boyd closer to him as well, which might make this rivalry go a little bit here in the chat get a little bit bigger.
As I've been watching Chuck McDonald slowly reel in Brian Boyd. We're at 13 laps to go. He's setting about a second and a half behind him, but he's been slowly reeling him in. We all know Chuck saves his equipment, and I guess we're gonna see what happens here in the next few laps on if Chuck leapfrogs Brian for the podium finish.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. It's coming down to Chuck McDonald's really put on a strong performance tonight. He started in the back. I'm not sure who moved up more spots, either Ethan or Chuck. They kind of both moved up. I'm not sure who to give the hard charger to tonight, as they're both looking very strong. Brian Boyd pretty much maintaining, but still has a podium finish. He can hold on. I mean, third in points, it's not really nothing to chalk and balk about. But right now, yeah, Devin Zimmerman is just maintaining that gap and maybe pulling a little bit further out on Ethan, but I'm not sure. 12 laps to go. It's going to take a very strong run or something to happen in order for Ethan to pull back up to Devin Zimmerman right now, as I think he just got caught up in some of that lap traffic.
Yeah, if we saw one of those famous debris cautions that we see in NASCAR, it might make this race
Jock
really
debris?
interesting.
Jock debris caution?
The ones that everybody gets so angry about.
I wonder if any of those drivers have that water bottle they could throw out in the track.
I remember a few years ago, Pocono was the biggest controversy. Where I'm not going to mention any names. I'm not going to throw anybody on the bus, but you can go back and find it, obviously. There's a follow NASCAR knows exactly who it was. There was something out the window to bring out the caution and come back and get us. So, yeah, it's Jock debris. That's one of those things that just happens on the track where nobody ever knows, and all of a sudden it'll just magically appear somewhere out there after they throw the caution. So, we shall see. As Devin Zimmerman now 10 to go in this one. Ethan's back 4 seconds. Brian Boyd 20. Chuck McDonald. That might be a battle to watch here till the end between Brian Boyd and Chuck McDonald. As you see that gap there, and right now they got Robert Cochran in between them. So is Chuck going to go ahead and try and get that podium finish? It's all important points right now.
That's the battle to watch on the track right now. I mean, Devin and Ethan are pretty solid in that one and two, but this P3 position, that's what's up for grabs right now. Is we all know Chuck's good at saving the equipment, been a hard charger all night. And, it's going to be interesting here with 9 to go. If Chuck can get there and, maybe get around Robert Cochran. I know they're friends on and off the track. I mean, but, there was a little rivalry between them a couple seasons ago. I mean, this will be interesting with 9 coming down to 8 to go on what happens here.
Listen, all I'm saying is Chuck's got to go. Ryan's got to go. Bradley Hunt's got to go. We cannot have Jay winning the bet again this week.
Right. Well, I thought you went and changed your bet. Thought you gave that extra money.
I just put it.
He put money down. He put money down.
Well, I
right
mean, I'm
now,
looking at
But
these
our
three.
bet is always the best finisher. So
Yep.
right now it looks like Jay's in that catbird seat.
Chuck McDonald slowly reeling these two in, and you know, you never know what's gonna happen here. Chuck's trying to go a little high here. You know, might have got to get out of his line to get past Cochran here, and then battle Boyd for P3.
and I believe it's going to be that clean air is going to be key, because if you notice when Devin Zimmerman got up around Bradley Hunt, he slowed down a little bit. Ooh.
Woo!
Oh, Cochran gave a little bit too much room to Chuck McDonald there and just got up and tapped that outside wall. That could have been disastrous. If he would have came down and just touched the back end of Chuck, that could have been the caution that everybody was waiting for. But he manages to keep it up there.
I thought for a moment we were gonna have that magical little yellow flag come out.
Absolutely.
Oh boy, we're six to go. Chat's going nuts.
Everybody.
I gotta catch it up here.
Do it.
No one is cleaner on the track than Ethan Scheibel. Ace May, the force is strong with Boyd, my young Padawan. Scheibel, Boyd is the Sith. Ethan is the light. It is tiny because Ethan is
It's supposed to be immense, I think.
immense, I guess. Yes. Mrs. Boyd's coming back. Mama Boyd coming back. Scheibel, Ethan may be first right now, but respect means courage and respect for others. Scheibel, I respect all, but Ethan only respects the win. I'm sorry though, Mama Boyd. All in good fun. I love it. I love these guys are all in fun. And Tay coming back, asking for a friend. But when are they going to turn right? When they hit the wall.
Well, with the battle that Chuck McDonald and Brian Boyd are having right now, one might be turning right soon.
Right, as Brian Boyd is now on the bottom, Chuck McDonald goes to the top side. Chuck's really been taking that high side. Boyd is also going to just come down and take that bottom line. I don't think that's preferred line right now. Their tires are wearing off. Chuck falls back to within a half a second, takes that top side. Brian Boyd's going to give it to him. Cuts that line off. Brian Boyd is going to take that middle, kind of cut that off, go to the top side. Chuck McDonald comes down to his backside. Is he going to go down to the bottom? No, he goes to that high side, going to take that away. Brian Boyd goes to block. He hits the outside wall.
Oh!
McDonald. Caution is out. Caution should be out. 3 to go. We're going to go into overtime. With Chuck McDonald and Brian Boyd fighting it out. Brian Boyd had enough of Chuck McDonald. Have to put him in the wall, put him back down, turn him around. I'm not sure if that was on purpose. I do not know, but it looked pretty suspicious that he came off of that wall. Got to the backside of Chuck, turned him around. So, man, this is what everybody has been waiting for. We're going to tighten the field. We still got so many laps. Everybody's going to come down. Chuck McDonald is now in the pit. Bradley Hunt is going to get his lap back. Ryan Walter, Brian Boyd, Ethan Thompson, Devin Zimmerman right now are the 4 guys on the lead lap. All of our picks except for, I'm sorry, Robert Cochran is 2 laps down. I'm sorry, Janelle, you're the only one that's out of this at the present moment. But we love you anyway. And yeah, I mean, it's going to tighten this stuff for overtime.
After this, I'm going to apologize to Robert after this.
This looks like, to me, if everybody's watching this, Chuck McDonald's going to give a little.
Maybe we can go a little bit in car. Maybe we can go a little bit in car and see exactly what's going on. He's going to give a little
whoop-de-doo there, and Brian's going to say, no you don't. And,
yeah, that was, I'm not sure if Brian, I mean, because when you hit that wall, you're just trying to keep that car straight. And the angle that he hit, it makes sense that that's the way the car would go.
The first contact, I agree with that. But there are 2 left turns here.
There are 2 right turns.
I'm not sure if that was, whether he just tried to keep it straight.
It is a definite, I did not like that whoop-de-doo.
No, that was definite. I think that's all okay. No, nobody is injured out there, Scheibel. Everybody is, their virtual souls are still intact. Nobody had to go to the infield care center. But don't forget, we are running with the veterans, current military, and first responders. So we do have plenty of people out there that can take care of any injuries on site if needed.
Ooh, who's going to win the...
We've got... Ethan Thompson goes to the pole round. Devin Zimmerman to get first spot going back to the green. So he's going to have lane choice, guys.
Well, he'll be on... we don't get lane choices in iRacing, but... So this is the question I have. Do you want to be on the high side or do you want to be on the low side for this restart?
That is a good question. With it being as loose as it is, they took 4 tires and as slick as it is, I'd probably prefer the high side just for the first couple of laps. But do not forget, in the very beginning, now we do not have to worry about fuel. We do not have to worry about anything. It is let's hit the gas, go right. Man, it is down to crunch time. 3 laps to get it done. We all saw what happened when at Daytona last week. All mayhem, all mass hysteria came through. The guy sitting in 6th spot ends up winning the race at the very end. So here we go. We're going to line it back up, and we got some heavy hitters out front tonight. Devin Zimmerman, Ethan Thompson, Brian Boyd, Ryan Walter, Brad Youngman stays out, so he's going to be out there, and he's going to bring it in 4th now. So it's going to be fine.
It'll be interesting when this cycles through. I mean, we all saw at the beginning of the race how fast Brian Boyd and Ryan Walter were at the beginning. You know, we don't know if Devin and them were saving or not at the beginning, but this could wind out being a shootout to the end. It'll be interesting when they all loop around here and we get that timing loop on where everybody actually stands going into this green white checkered.
Yes, as we're going to come down, it's going to be the first that we get a set of 3 overtime. So if it does happen by the time they do not come back to catch the white flag, we will restart and do this all over again. If they come back to the white flag, will be the last lap. That last lap is the winner. Whoever wins on that lap, it's a race back to the line. There is no slowing down for anything. So
it looks like looks like Stephen
going
Green's
to
opted to take the wave around. He's setting out in front of the leaders right now.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Andy.
He's gonna take a wave around here, and while we're under caution and gonna have a quick minute, let's check in with chat because it's still blowing up. And I'll try and answer what I can. Is he injured by Scheibel? Very unfortunate. Fortunate for us, these are virtual race cars, so his virtual soul may be hurt, but he is okay. Legacy Aftermath. How do I become a commentator? Trying to cheer on Ethan live on the air. I will tell you, Legacy, if you'd like to, there is a podcast that shares the YouTube channel. It is Back Talk. You can email Back Talk, BACC Talk US @gmail.com. Send in a video. We will make sure it gets played during the broadcast, cheering on your man, Ethan Thompson. Pie Man, look, Tay, he turned right. Prayers out for the driver. Hope he's okay. I hope he is too. Tay with a heart. Scheibel, Ethan, Legacy Aftermath. Let's go, Ethan.
So I'm looking.
Legacy, send that email. We'll put it on air.
So as we're getting ready to go green here, we got Ethan Thompson setting P1, Devin Zimmerman P2, Brad Youngman hard charged up to P3, Brian Boyd setting outside in P4, Ryan Walter, Brian Boyd's teammates, on the inside of him in P5, and Bradley Hunt rounding out the cars that are on the lead lap in P6. It's anybody's race. Let's have some fun, boys. Have a good call to the end.
The pace car dives down on pit lane. Ethan has the green to go. So in the restart zone, gets a good jump, going to jump out in front of Devin Zimmerman. Here goes Brad Youngman underneath. Caught Devin kind of sleeping there. They only got 3 laps, so it's going to be a fight to the finish. That's going to leave Ethan Thompson with a huge lead, but that's not over yet, as we've got Brad Youngman on the bottom. You got Devin Zimmerman catching up with Brian Boyd. Brian Boyd was really fast during the early part of this race, and he's going to really take a hard charge. He's going to need everything that he can get these next 2 laps to catch Ethan Thompson, as we've got somebody dead. Ethan Thompson, Devin Zimmerman now back up to second. Brian Boyd right there. So here we go. 1, 2, 3 as these guys come back to the line. 2 to go. This will be it. 1 to go. This is it. The last lap of the race. As we see Brad Youngman just start to fall back. But here comes... Oh, Brian Boyd got a little bit sideways there. That's going to separate that. Oh, he gets sideways again as he's just getting a little bit too much. It's going to come down to Ethan Thompson. Oh, man, Brian Boyd's starting to fall back now. He falls back behind Brad Youngman. In the 4th spot, Ethan Thompson coming around. Devin Zimmerman trying to get all that he can, trying to get that run, but not enough with that jump that he had. Ethan Thompson takes another one at Las Vegas. And Devin Zimmerman second. Brad Youngman brings it home third. Ryan Walter fourth. Brian Boyd fifth. So Andy, Ryan Walters sneaks by Brian Boyd for 4th at the very end. Bradley
I told
Hunt,
you this bet
6th.
would come in.
Stephen Green, 7th. Robert Cochran, 8th. Robin Parton, 9th. Chuck McDonald, 10th. And Tanner Lee in 11th. That is your final running order. Congratulations, Ethan Thompson. Bring it home. Got that lucky caution. And hey, let's go. We're going to hear it in the chat now.
Yeah, we're gonna hear it in the chat now.
And for all those, for the Ethan Thompson fan club out there, stay tuned. We will have Ethan interviewed in the booth. Hear what he has to say. So don't go anywhere, because we'll let him know that you guys are out there cheering him on. We'll read some of your comments. You got questions or comments for Ethan at this point after his victory? Let us know. We'll let him know and see what he's got to say.
Just for just so we can go back, what happened to? Let's go take that last lap with Brian Boyd, because he was running, chasing down Devin Zimmerman. We saw him get a little bit loose, so maybe we can go back that last lap and see how Brian Walter and got around him there, if you don't mind there.
Yeah, I think this
So
is
this
the
is
start
the-
right here.
So here we go at the start, and we can see him just take that. He's going to take that line. He's going to go down. And there's that car getting loose. So you're already loose right there.
It was a good
when
grab
it's
on
those
his
full
part.
tires, right? So he ended up saving it. Oh, there goes Ryan Walter
Yep.
on the outside. So Ryan had that outside line. So yeah, taking that bottom line was definitely one that was not the best choice there. And there again, yeah, cold tires on that bottom line just did not work in that. It was
They have
unfortunate that is what happened. So
Did
there
they
we
have
go.
a fast repair,
Ethan
or was he still
Thompson.
I'm gonna grab Ethan Thompson and bring him
Yep,
down
we
to
can
the
bring
booth.
Ethan Thompson down here and bring him to the back chair at his victory lane celebration.
Hey Ethan, this is Dustin in the booth. You got a read on me, bud?
Hey, I got you.
Hey, congratulations on the win. I mean, the caution kit came better for you there. How you feeling after that? That was pretty exciting there at the end.
Oh my gosh. I'll if that's not backing into a win, I don't know what is. I mean, I'll take it. Obviously, I feel really bad for Devin, because I mean he had it in the bag. Obviously, he's faster than everybody, hands down. I mean, I could keep pace with him like for the majority of a run. I mean, obviously he had like a couple seconds on me most of the race, but I mean I felt like I was at least in his wheelhouse, but I mean, I still wasn't as fast as him. Because I mean, I already had stuff lined up what I was going to say when this race was over, and I was already prepared to tell you all that they say consistency is key. Well, I've been consistent, getting my butt kicked by Devin. So,
Ethan.
so like I said, even though I'll take it, man, but I still want to give Devin a bunch of props for how good he did.
I'm gonna say, Andy, do you want to give Ethan a little version of
I'm
what's
gonna
been
give him
going
a
on
little-
in chat tonight?
So your Ethan, your fan club has shown up strong tonight in the YouTube chat, cheering you on strong. I don't know if you had the stream running and could hear them cheering you on, but they were pushing for you. A little bit of a rivalry brewing in the YouTube chat between you and Mr. Boyd. So I think we got a YouTube rivalry. That might be a rivalry that ends up on the track. But I do want to read some of these things to you so you can respond. We've got Legacy Aftermath. Ethan, I love you. Tay comes in. Ethan, love me back, daddy. Hi, man. Congrats, Ethan. Shybull. Ethan, we love you. Ethan, GZ on 99 farming. Ace May, good job, Ethan. Legacy Aftermath, pooping bottles in Discord.
I think that's
tonight.
supposed to be popping.
Popping
No.
bottles, not pooping.
Popping bottles. Okay. Tay, can I get a whoop whoop? Pie man, who's harmable?
Harambe.
Harambe. Mine's out for Ethan. So you want to respond to your fan club out there?
Because
who
you had a
has
lot
been
of them out
cheering
there.
you on tonight.
Definitely appreciate it. I had no idea that all those guys were going to be watching tonight. I had sent the link to one guy, because he had asked me to send it to him a couple times, and he obviously shared it with this other group. We got a Discord together and play some different games together, so they all must be in there right now.
Apparently, farming is one of them.
Right? You got to give Tay a whoop whoop though. Come on, Ethan, give her a whoop whoop, or give him a whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop, Tay. There you go.
There you go. So you got your
Yeah.
whoop whoop, Tay.
Tay at one point did say Tay was gay for you. So
But man,
No,
what a race! What
yeah.
a job! I mean, you maintain. It looked like it was not going to be because normally, historically, when you got your last win here, it was you guys were just coasting on fumes. It did not look like that was going to be the case tonight. Am I correct?
No, we weren't going to be on fumes. I had a couple laps to the good, but I said if I can make one suggestion is we need to find a way to make some of these races 2 stops. I
Right.
think that would be a lot of fun to have some 2-stop races, but it's still fun regardless.
And but you got the win, so you bring that Thompson DroneWorks Marconi setup shops machine back to victory lane, last year's champion. Back to a spot where you won before. You backed into it, and like I said, I mean that you probably were like hoping for that caution, knew you probably weren't going to get it, and then when you saw it, did your heart drop or what?
Not entirely, no. Just because I just figured that Devin would still come out first on pit road, and then he would have the jump on me more than likely on the restart, depending on how that went. And when I beat him on pit road, I was like, okay, well, this actually might happen now.
Right. Well, I mean, congratulations on your win. It's your first win in the season, so you break up the the Devin monopoly so far. So it's you and Devin once again battling it out up at the top of the leaderboard. I mean, and Andy, you had a heartbreaker last week at Daytona. We're not going to bring that up, but you were fighting for the lead there too. So you've been showing speed. You're showing strong everywhere. You're picking up where you left off, and showing why tell us why you're a champion. So thank you for your service. Thank you for all you do. Congratulations on the win. Any or sponsors or anything you'd like to shout out before we let you go?
Of course, McConey Setup Shop, and you all there, back charities. Then we got my business, Thompson Drone Works, and then just the whole Tyler Daniels League and everybody that's a part of it. Love being a part of this group.
All right, buddy. Well, it was great talking to you again. Congratulations on your win. You got to take those whenever you can get them, and that's definitely one that you may have backed into it, but you did it with style. So congratulations, fan club loves it. Hope to see you out here next week and keep it up.
Speaking of fan club, before we let him go, can we get a oh yeah from you?
What they're looking for they're looking for is a oh yeah.
That's what Shibo was looking for.
There you go, guys. So way to go.
Before we let you go, Ethan, shout outs to any sponsors out there. What you got to say?
We already
did it.
You went away while we were doing that.
Yeah, we already found out the sponsors.
I was getting our next guests ready.
Okay.
Ethan,
we already got
congratulations on the win, and back into the win like you said. But congratulations on the win. A win's a win. We all say that. Can't wait to see you in 2 weeks out here. Have a good 4th of July from us up here in the booth.
Hey, you too. Enjoy it, guys.
Have a good night, bud.
Buddy.
See ya.
Great race, buddy.
So who's our next special guest then, Andy?
We're gonna grab Devin Zimmerman up next.
Okay, you got Devin coming in.
We got two drivers ready to talk to us. Devin's up next.
All right, bring him in. See what we got.
Hey, Devin, this is Dustin in the booth. You got to read on me, bud.
Hello.
Hi, Devin.
Heartbreak tonight. Bad things happen. We kind of wanted to see the caution. We know you didn't want to.
do you hate seeing yellow flags now?
Yeah.
He is in the dumpster right now.
I know. That's a tough pill to swallow, pal. I understand that 100% completely. But man, you still showed a lot of strength. You had it go into the end. Just an unfortunate set of circumstances. I watched Talk that last restart. It seemed like Ethan caught you totally off guard there in that restart zone.
Yeah, I was watching him and not the restart zone, so I didn't know where we were. And then I saw him take off, and I was already too late. So then it was just maintain second because Yonkman was putting pressure on, so I had to fend him off. And then by the time we came off of came off of two, it was over. I couldn't catch him. I know we were both pretty fast on the short run, about the same speed, so there was no way I could have caught him unless he made a mistake. And with a half a second lead, even if he did it, it'd have to be a pretty big mistake for me to get him. So,
Man, Devin, you sound really down about this race. I mean,
That's a tough pill to swallow, though.
You would
is it
too.
the caution that came out? You ran a great race up until that point.
yeah, it's just coming to the white flag, and then the caution comes out. And I know that I'm not the best on the short run. At the beginning of the race was a Boyd and Walter were able to get around me, just because I'm not that great in the first 10 laps. But after that, then I kind of find the stride and I can get back on it. So these short runs kill me, and yeah, it sucks to lose a race when you're up 5 seconds over everybody else. And
You did get a shout out just now on the
Yes.
YouTube chat. So
There we
I,
go.
while I have you, I want to allow you to respond to it.
Yeah, sure.
Tay, who is one of the Ethan Thompson fan club people, said, "Well played, Devin. Better luck next."
No, it's a good. Ethan told me when we came off, when we took the checkered, he said he felt so bad for taking the win, but you got to get them when you can. And I mean, Ethan's a better. Um, he's better all around. He can do the short run, the long runs, kind of evenly. I'm just not great on the short run.
Well,
Something I need to practice, but no, it is what it is. Cautions happen, and it's just it's a shame when they do when you're up by that much, but they happen, and you come back next
so I
time.
gotta
Do it again.
ask because we all were guessing. We don't know. We're not in the car. The first run before the first pit stop, you watched Brian Boyd and Ryan Walter take off and take a huge lead, but then you tracked them down. Was that a tire issue there? You think they burn off their tires to where you had the tires better on the long run there?
100%. Yeah, I saw what line they were running. I liked there's like a middle-ish groove in 1 and 2, and then I run the bottom in 3 and 4. Well, that's a very quick line. That's not normally the fastest line over a very short run. Um, but that's how I train. That's how I practice, and that's the line I run because I know it saves tires. So when I did that, and also I'm playing with the throttle too, to save. Like I'm letting off early and playing with the throttle and exit, not just full blast off of the corners to save the right rear, so I can have the drive. So when I saw them coming pretty quick, and I saw the moves they were making, and then they were also running the top line, I believe in 3 and 4, I was pretty confident they were gonna burn through the tires maybe in the first 15, 20 laps, and then I'd come right back to them. And yeah, it kind of happened that way. Was a boy didn't make it easy to get by him for sure. He put up a fight, um, but yeah, just he didn't have the run. He couldn't get the runs off of turn 2 by the time I caught him. So that's how I was able to get by him. Just I could get back to the throttle a lot sooner. Same with Walter in turn 3. I could actually hear it when we were running side by side. I could hear him when he was getting on and off the throttle, and I could get back to the throttle a lot quicker than he could, just because my right rear was saved a little bit more than his, so the car wasn't trying to spin itself out when you get back on the throttle. So that's all it was. Just a tire game, and I thought fuel might come into play, but it turns out when you're saving your tires, the fuel was saved in the same kind of same kind of way. So we were able to get good fuel mileage, and yeah, it was all looking good. Built up a nice lead, and like I said, cautions happen. We'll come back at Nashville Fairgrounds, do it again. But yeah, just I got to get better. I got stuff to work on. So
Well, I wish I
especially
could
on
be
the
that disappointed in second, like you are right
Right.
now. Because if I finish second, I'd probably be happier than you and Ethan combined.
We already have Ross
So
Chastain.
why
We
don't
now
you go
have-
ahead and shout out your
I was gonna
sponsors while
say,
you're up there?
I was gonna say it's like I feel like Bubba when he comes second at Daytona. All those
I was
times.
gonna call him. I was gonna call him Kyle Butt, or but whatever.
Yeah, I thinking Bubba is just so much heartbreak coming in second when you know you had the best car.
Mhm.
You
I'm
were
gonna
doing everything right, but it happens. So
Right.
I'm gonna let you shout out your sponsors real quick, but I do want you to
Yep.
respond to one comment on the YouTube that it has come in. Thanks. This is from Pie Man. Says, thanks for the slipstream, Devin. Ethan saved Ethan lots of gas, and in this economy, oh boy.
I think I had his slipstream at the end, but no, he was able to stay with me in the second run. So yeah, he was saving pretty good fuel. But yeah, with the gas prices they are, hey, every little bit counts. But now
right.
we both got to the end. We could have made it, so no big
Right.
deal.
So who you got riding along with you now,
Yeah.
Devin? And Tommy doesn't let you when you finish P2 shout them all out. But we'll give you that out. We'll give you that
Shout 'em out.
opportunity,
Shout 'em out.
and
No,
go ahead.
It's was a Maconi setup shop on the door. They're going to be there all season. Thanks to Maconi for sponsoring myself, Ethan, Ryan Shelton, and was it Andrew Brisnett this season. Some great setups that he has, and they've been really good to practice the A opens and B opens throughout the week when I get a chance to run officials. So, which is kind of few and far between, but they are amazing, and I really like having Maconi on the side. Big shout out to him. Also, Honey Press, my wife's business, www.honeypress-nc.com. It is a Japanese stationery store there. She loves stationery and caters to those who are just like her. So feel free to check her out. And then it was a back charities, you guys up in the booth, Tyler Daniels Racing League for putting on this Vets League, Curin Dental Labs, and then special paint scheme today. It's kind of political, so I don't want to throw up. I'm sure you guys maybe said, but it's just with everything that's happened the past week, I decided to do something for a cause that I believe in, which is her body, it's her choice. So that's all I'll say. But figured it was better to run that scheme this week than the one I was planning to. So we got that. It's a one-off. I'll be back into the blue and gold next week, or in 2 weeks. Sorry, after the 4th.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, just wanted to run that one. Had a great car, and yeah, just thank you to you guys. I look forward to watching it back. I'm
was
sure it was.
exciting.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a little dreary in the middle, but that end was probably.
Oh, we
pretty
didn't
great.
have any
No,
problems.
there is no problem up here in the booth. We always find
There was
something
a
to talk about.
fire. There was absolute fire going on in the chat that kept us
Yeah.
busy.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing! That's awesome. Yeah. Big shout out to everybody who watches too. I know some of them are having trouble. Apparently, there's a huge fan base that I have, and about 5 or 6 of them are having trouble logging into the YouTube chat and actually typing things. So I'll have
We
to.
need
Oh,
to get
yeah,
that
you-
straightened out because
gotta
we
get
got
that
Ethan,
together.
we got Brian Boyd Club
Yeah.
out there. We need a Zimmerman
Oh,
Club out there. We need them out there.
There are fan clubs that were fighting tonight. It was great.
Fan clubs were
Yeah,
formed.
I'll have to figure that out because yeah, there's quite a few that watch and they're just not able to log into the YouTube. So I got to figure that out. And
They are watching it live, right? Because you
They
can't get
are.
the chat not live.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
they
Well,
are
there you
watching
go.
live.
All right. Well, thank you to everybody out there.
Yeah.
Cheering on Devin
Congrats.
Zimmerman.
Congrats on P2, Devin.
Appreciate it.
Sucks that he didn't get P1 for you, but we got a good fight at the end.
Mhm.
But have a good 4th of July, a week off, and come back out strong in 2 weeks.
Yep. You guys too. Have a good 4th. Happy Independence Day, everybody. Yeah, we'll see you in a couple weeks.
All right.
All right, you got it, man. Thank you.
Have a good one,
Have a
Devin.
good one, bud.
Thanks, fellas.
So Andy,
Yeah, that's
who's
very
next?
disappointing.
Yeah,
That is very
yeah.
disappointing.
It's heartbreak when something like that happens. I mean, Puppet Master did chime in the chat, aka Brian Boyd. He got hit in the back and he bounced off the wall, and he feels really bad for Devin tonight.
All right.
Let's talk to him. I'm going to bring him down here right now, and if he's got his cans going on and he's still got his radio chat going on, we'll talk to him. Give me just a second.
I
to
can get
bring
him down here.
into the booth.
Oh, yeah, you got him.
Here we go. I believe we got him. We got
Yep.
Brian Boyd, Andy in the booth. You got it.
Yeah, I got you. How you guys doing
First
tonight?
talk about the incident. We have to first talk about the incident.
Well.
You got a little what in the rear end from
Mr.
Chuck
McDonald?
and then you did hit the wall, bounced off the wall, caught him once, but then you caught him twice with the left-hander. Little payback?
No, it wasn't intended at that at all. No, sir. I'm not that kind of driver. From my perspective, I caught the hit in the rear. It sent me in the wall. I bounced off. I tried to catch it, and I ended up collecting him. Wasn't intentional. Hope he's listening and watching, because I'm very sorry that I even collected him. That wasn't the intent by any means.
Well, it changed the dynamic of the race, right?
It definitely did that.
You have a huge fan club out there cheering you on, who has started a fight in the pits with the Ethan Thompson fan
Lord.
club.
I think it's a friendly rivalry.
It's
Right,
a
it's
friendly
friendly.
quarrel.
What you got to say to your fan club out there that's throwing left-handers to the Ethan Thompson fan club?
Keep them uppercuts to themselves. No, it's great to see chat blowing up, not just for me, but for Ethan and everybody else that's getting the support in the chat, and for you guys to be getting the views and to have the live viewer spectrum that you do have. I like seeing that. I think you guys deserve so much more. And hopefully there's a lot more of that to come, even if it is a in the pits fight.
That's right. But no, I mean, everybody was out there. Everybody was having fun tonight. Going back for cheering you guys on, and you had a really, really strong lead there, and then gave it up midway through. Did you overdrive the car in that first stint?
Absolutely. Yes,
Okay.
I did. My thought process is try and put as much of a gap between me and anybody else that I could, and hope that they wore their tires out racing each other to where we could get through the first segment of pit stops.
Okay.
But Lord knows, Devin and Ethan are so fast. And they're very conservative. They have an uncanny ability of being fast and conserving their equipment.
Did it kind of catch you off guard a little bit?
I was watching the tracker. I was watching the lap times, and I seen them shaving off time, and I knew it wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when.
Right.
But I wasn't going to give it to them. They were going to earn it.
Right. Well, you did come out in that second stint pretty strong. I mean, you did maintain. You came out with 20 behind and ended up 15 before the caution and all that came out with you and Chuck. But I mean, you were actually maintaining it, if not gaining a little bit on them on that second stint. Did you learn anything from the first to carry over to the second?
Yeah. Entry and exit a corner. I found where I could kind of diamond the corner and save tires a little bit longer.
Right.
And that, and I was trying to do that race and maintain my kids' happiness at the same time.
So it was Aunt Terry and Mama was the one that said that they're out there for you. And yeah, I think one of the Ethan fan club went after Mama Bear, and we were like, "Don't go after the Mama Bear! Nope, 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 don't go after Mama Bear." But no, but Aunt Terry and Mom were cheering you on tonight. You had a huge fan club. It was very fun watching you guys on track battle it out, watching you take an early lead. You were my pick tonight actually, and I was pretty lucky. So the fast few, so it kind of let me down there, but that's okay. You know, I have
Sorry,
some faith
buddy.
in you, but yeah, that's right. You lost to your teammate Ryan Walters, so that's the only difference there. So we'll give it to you though. I saw how it ended. Got just a little bit loose, just running that bottom line on those colder tires, and I understand
Yeah,
that. But no big deal.
I knew I was fast on the short run, and I feel like I had something for Ethan and Zimmerman for sure on the short run, not long run.
Right.
I knew that if I could get it to stick in the corner, just for even exit, I had something for him. But it didn't happen that way, and I just overdrove the car trying to push it too hard too soon, and there just wasn't enough laps, and I had to do what I had to do to try and get up there, but it didn't work out.
All right, why don't you give a shout out to your fan club out there tonight, everybody that you brought there. Shout out your sponsors. I know you got a few sponsors on the car that you'd like to shout out to.
Absolutely. I want to thank everybody that came in the chat. My mom, Terry, Kelly, my friend David May, everybody that came in the chat that rooted for me. It means so much to me, but it means a lot more to me that you're coming in and supporting back charities and the Veterans League. So this gives us an outlet that normally we wouldn't have, and that kind of bounces back to my primary sponsor, which is Mission 22, and the things that they do for the veterans to try and reduce the 22 a day that's average for veteran suicides by giving them different outlets, whether it's hunting trips, fishing trips, whatever helps the veterans not maintain that negative mindset or that mindset that there's no one out there for them, because that's very much false. There's a lot of us out here that are willing to be right next to them.
Yeah, and then a huge announcement that was announced during the race. You're going to be working with Back Charities. I hear for an upcoming, you're going to have a charity race to support Mission 22, which I think is a great cause. And I mentioned it before; it should be Mission 0, but Mission 22, we are going to be partnering with them coming up in a future charity race, which will be televised, by the way, or not televised, but here on YouTube. So that's why it's important to hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit the notification button. So when this all comes together, you'll be able to watch everybody out there and cheer on your favorite driver again.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I have to put out a special thanks for McConey Setup Shops picking me up and sponsoring me for this season as well. They're my other sponsor. They put out such great setups for the open races and officials and hosted that are open. I've never been slow with anything that I've gotten from them. Never. I recommend them
Absolutely.
to anybody.
Absolutely. Jeff McConey has been here from the very beginning with the Vets and First Responders League, and continues to make this grow and make everybody better. And he's picking up more and more drivers. And from the quality of drivers that he sees out here, he's very confident in picking up from the TDR Veterans and First Responders League because he knows how you guys race. Clean racers, very respectful to each other, cool under pressure, and know how to adjust and get things done. So that's why McConey set up shops as part of TDR, and that's why we're part of TDR. But Brian, I mean, congratulations bringing it home. You look good. You were in third for a while. Just that last little bit there kind of put you in an off situation, but you did bring it home in the top 5. So can't really complain there. It was overall a good night, even though disappointing from where you're standing, I'm sure. But Ryan Walter got a hold of you, and taking Ryan Walter on tonight, our Dross Chastain of the league. I'm sure you talked to him a little bit. Seems like he may be taking the mantra of the real life Chastain and only getting aggressive when it counts, because I didn't see him get too aggressive tonight. So, but great job working together.
I want to put out a special thank you to and I'm not sure if he's watching, but if he goes back and he watches it, maybe Briar LaPrade. I worked with him all week, and he allowed me to pick his brain on Vegas and what Vegas has turned into. And for those that don't know Briar LaPrade, you need to go check him out. Throw him a follow too, because he drives for Junior Esports.
Oh, there you go. So you
For
got a high, you
Marconi
got
as
a
well.
lot of high, yeah, you got a lot of higher ups, and that's what that Marconi setup shop sponsorship brings you. You have access to something that most people don't. So congratulations once again. Great race tonight. Way to try and bring it in for your fans, for everybody out there. It ended up being a great finish once again. So Dustin or Janelle, got anything for Brian?
Before we let you go, Brian, I believe Tanner Lee, the newcomer, is a friend of yours. You want to give us a little background on him? I see he's turned off his mic. We were gonna. Oh, he is still here. We should bring him down here and talk to him quick too.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
We'll keep you down here and we'll chat with him.
Absolutely. Tanner Lee was one of my soldiers. So
Hey, Tanner, this is Dustin up in the booth. You got to read on me, bud?
Yeah, I do.
How you doing, bud? Welcome to the Vets and First Responders League. Not the greatest run that you probably wanted, but your first run out with these guys. How did you feel out there tonight?
I feel I needed to conserve tires a little bit better because I was running through them a lot.
Like we all were, or like y'all were the way it looked. That's what I would have done too on the track. Give us a little background on your service and stuff so people out there in YouTube land can get to know you.
Hey, I was a 12 Bravo with the 844th Engineer Battalion. I was in for 3 years. I got out back in October.
Cool.
So now you're out here racing with these guys. I see you were under Boyd. So Brian actually is here. So maybe Brian can get a little bit more out of you than we can. Brian, you want to talk to your friend there for a minute?
Go ahead.
Oh, Lee,
Interview your friend.
you're killing me, dude.
I
Tell
don't know
him-
what to say.
Tell them what you did in the military. A lot of people that are watching might not know what a 12 Bravo is. It's a combat engineer. We're the ones that go out and look for the IEDs, any booby traps, stuff like that. Give them a little bit more in depth and detail about you, and maybe how we know each other.
Yeah. Brian here, he was my sergeant for 3 years. The hardest to get along with, but he was the best one we had.
So the truth comes out about Brian.
Right.
Well, it's good to have you, bud.
Right.
I know having the first interview on a broadcast is sometimes nerve-wracking, and we've all been there. But we appreciate you being here. Can't hope to see you out on the track a lot more with these guys, and talk to you more in the future.
Absolutely. Good to see you out there, and good racing with you tonight. And yeah, I know it was a tough night, but hey, you got to start somewhere, and it's good to see you out there. And the thing with this league is you got to show up, and show up. And the more you show up, the better you'll become. If you have any questions, obviously you can reach out in Discord. They'll all help you out along the way. They'll all help you get better because they all want to race, bring you to their level. So,
Yep.
as Brian Boyd has found out when he came in a couple races ago, and now he's getting to be a professional up here in the booth. So we may have to move him up here to call a couple races, I think, one of these times. But yeah, it's been fun to watch, and these guys are doing great out there. So just show up and learn. And like I said, here at TDR, it's a non-pressure league, and
We
we
have
accept
fun.
everybody, and everybody's just out here to have fun. So and help and learn each other grow, and we become a family. So welcome to the family, Tanner.
Thank you.
Janelle, do you got anything for the two guys that are joining us in here?
Just good. Welcome Tanner and Brian. Good job. I did not pick you, so I know you had said that before the race had started to Justin that you didn't want him to pick you, so I didn't pick you.
Yeah, no, I didn't even after the week of practice that I put in, I still didn't feel like I was completely competitive. There's always that uncertainty, right? Like you can practice all you want, but until you get on the track with the other guys and you see where they stand and you see what their footing is on the track and the way the changes that they made a week and a half ago to the next gen car being iRacing. This I remember April timeframe I raced on this track and it was way different.
Right.
Yep, a lot
That's what
different. A lot different.
It's what it sounded like from Brad Hunt when he came down and we brought him in pre-race, and that's what he was saying too. Is that it's way different out there than what me and Jay are probably used to. So you guys all drove well out there. You had your little incident, Brian, but that happens on the track. We all know how that goes, and you said it in the chat. You felt bad for Devin, but Devin's not upset about it. You know, Ethan's kind of happy, but Ethan really wasn't excited that he won the race either. So, all in all, it was a beautiful race. You guys, both of you guys, both Brian and Tanner, you guys both raced a good race. Tanner, thanks for coming out and joining this league. Hope to see you out there a lot more
Don't
from
give up.
us.
Keep
Yeah,
pushing.
don't give up. Keep pushing. That's where I'd be if I was on the track with these guys. Is probably behind you at that point. Yeah, we all have fun out here. But from us in the booth, have a good 4th of July. Enjoy your time with your family and friends, and enjoy the Independence holiday. And we'll see you both in 2 weeks.
Yes, sir.
You got
Thank
it.
you for having us.
All right, go ahead and
Our pleasure.
We'll send you guys back up to have fun with the boys up in Discord, and we'll talk to you guys later.
10-4. Thank
right.
you, guys.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We lost Andy somehow.
Yeah,
Andy's
Andy's up in the driver's lounge chilling out with the drivers.
Yeah, he's showing out the drive. Do we have Brad
Oh.
Youngman up there, or did he check out for the? He went to his hauler.
I think he went to his house. I think he checked out and he's off on his own. We have Brad Hunt, aka Mickey Mouse, Robert Cochran, Ryan Walter up in chats yet, or up in driver's lounge.
Yeah, no, I think we can just wrap this up tonight.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Ethan Thompson brings it home. Obviously, in another exciting win.
Well, speaking of Andy, he decides to come
Here's
back
Andy
and visit
right
us.
here. He is.
There he is.
So, Ethan Thompson brings home the win. Devin Zimmerman second. Brad Youngman brings it home third. Great run for Brad to bring it home in third. Great run through the field. Ryan Walter fourth. Brian Boyd fifth. Bradley Hunt sixth. Stephen Green seventh. Robert Cochran eighth. Robin Pardon ninth. Chuck McDonald 10th. And Tanner Lee came home 11th. Chuck McDonald had a great run going, and then as we saw just in that last race incident, couldn't get his car repaired in time. So tough night for him, but there's your running order for this evening.
Before we sign off, and I know we need to sign off here pretty shortly, I gotta bring the man in that won me the bet.
Okay, well, bring him down.
Yep,
Last
go
year last week you gave him a Riemann. Now this week you're going to praise him for
Yeah.
winning, right?
Andy, we
So
thought
wait.
maybe you were having technical difficulties with your internet again.
No,
All right,
I was
so bring-
talking. I was talking to President CH.
Oh,
Oh.
got ya.
Okay.
So when I'm talking to President CH, it can go on a little while. But
Got it.
I've got the man, the myth, the legend in the booth right now. The man that won the bet for me tonight,
Mr. RoboCop.
Ryan Walter, aka Ross Chastain.
RoboCop.
Boom shakalaka.
I guess
Mr.
you got-
Chastain Walter. Walter Chastain. How would you like that to be? Walter Chastain or Chastain Walter?
Just do Ross Walter.
Ross Walter.
I like it.
So I already have
Mr.
the R, so it kind of fits.
So I put my money down at Vegas on you to win against all my compadres here in the booth tonight.
But
and our bet is who finishes best. And my man, Mr. Ross Walter, won the bet for me tonight. So first of all,
Ooh, yeah.
thank you very much.
Did we lose him?
I tried.
he's sitting there thinking about what he wants to say.
So you and your teammate got out to a huge lead, and I know you guys probably put in a ton of practice, found that fast lap time, but seemed like you burnt off the tires pretty quickly.
Yeah, in the first pit stop, I had 9%.
So
9% on my right front. But I honestly shouldn't have beat Boyd because of if the caution didn't come out, I would have beat him. But at the end of the day, we're both teammates. I want to see him do well, and I want to see myself do well. And he's helped me out with some stuff. I've helped him out. we've worked together pretty well. He's put in more practice than I have for this race, but it was a lot of fun tonight. I was having fun just out there. I was like, okay, I'm gonna finish top five. Next, I ended up fourth because of a caution. Because I don't know exactly what happened with Boyd, but I was just content finishing fifth.
Well, it seemed like you got a little bit of loose going down in the turn number one, just trying to get everything you could on that lap because you had to go. You couldn't hold anything back, and that low side was not where you wanted to be on that restart there, and he just got himself a little bit loose. Allowed you and Youngman to get around him
With
on that
with,
last.
with that whole track, no matter if you went high or low, if you're pushing it hard, you're going sideways.
Mhm.
So with the new update to the car, it's extremely loose. It has a high chance of cautions, but the amount of talent we have at the field, you saw it today. We had one caution,
Yep.
but the amount of driver capability that we have on this field alone just tells you of how little cautions we have, especially off the start. I thought there may have been one on the first start because how loose the car is on
Mhm.
cold tires.
Right.
So that just tells you how good the Veterans League is with racers. We have really great racers here.
Absolutely. And we love every single one of you guys out there, and thank you for coming out. I know your knees feeling a little bit better now as you're progressing in your healing and you're getting towards the front. So you bring it home fourth tonight. Last time you were out here, you kind of snuck one in a green white checker at the Autism 500 or the Autism race, um, or the Teddy Bear race. I'm sorry, and then you bring it out here tonight and bring it home fourth. So you're getting consistently up the leaderboard, working with Ryan or Brian Boyd as a teammate there. Did you guys work together? Kind of speak in each other's ears, maybe back off. Maybe you were burning it up a little bit too much, or were you guys just trying to hang together all night?
We were talking, but most of the time we were running our own race. Because in this kind of race, it's drafts don't really matter as much as like say like Daytona or Talladega.
Right.
Um, but we were running our own race, trying not to cause any cautions. Um, if I was near somebody, I would try to race aggressively, owning up to the Ross Chastain nickname that I have. But at the same time, trying to keep it so it would run for a good race, trying to make it look good for the broadcast and also for the people back home, make it interesting. But at the end of the day, um, I'm lucky I brought home fourth, but I knew I was going to finish top five either way.
There you go. All right, Andy, go ahead. He's all yours now.
No, buddy. Hey, I want to thank you first for winning me the bet. We'll come back next week. Let everybody
weeks,
know
in 2
what.
weeks.
2
Or
weeks,
in
Andy.
2 weeks. We'll come back in 2 weeks and let everybody know what the punishment for my compadres up here in the booth. And unfortunately, Janelle is involved in that now.
Oh,
So thank you to that. You ran a great race, man. It was fun seeing you. I picked you because you've had a victory on the Las Vegas track before. I know the car has changed. Seemed to run it pretty well. And congratulations on the finish. You got any sponsors you want to shout out
I actually
today?
do this time.
All right.
I
What do you
have
got?
one sponsor, and I actually just picked them up today. I'd like to thank Mission 22, great organization, trying to raise awareness for the 22 veterans we actually lose a day to suicide. So, um, great organization. They're trying to bring awareness to it and trying to help veterans and lower the number. I picked up Mission 22, and I'll have a paint for them. I didn't have a paint in time because Toyota on iRacing didn't have one, but I have one made by the time mid race. But it's a good paint, and I can't wait to display it for you guys once were able to race in another next gen league.
Speaking
But you did
of,
have 911 on the
yeah,
car, and that
speaking
was
of that paint
so that
tonight,
was a great scheme tonight.
that
too,
was a
as well.
cool paint you had tonight.
I saw that on Trading Paints. I don't exactly know who made it, but it was a great one, and it was 9/11 tribute. And I may have been 3 years old, but I remember where I was at, and it still hits close to me because I've had um, blood relatives that died responding to it and try to help people out. My dad was actually went to the Pentagon during the whole situation, so I have roots in it in family that were actually there.
Wow.
Well, that's awesome. We thank your father, obviously, for being a first spotter that day.
Right.
You ran a great race. We hope to see you back in 2 weeks, running strong again. You got any final shout outs you'd like to tell our viewers tonight before we let you go?
I may be the villain of the Vets League, being Ross Chastain, but I'm still out there to win it. I have a good teammate, but at the end of the day, I may not have the fan support of most other drivers, but I'm still out there to win it and throw a curveball out there.
No, you're a
So now
fan
that-
up here in the booth. I don't, there's nobody that's the villain or anything like that. We just nominate you the Ross Chastain just because we've seen you get into a bunch of people just being aggressive. But that's your driving style. That's your driving style, and that's what got you to where you're at. And you know what? It brings entertainment up here. So we're a fan. We're a Ryan Walter fan. So at least you got three up here in the booth.
I'm a huge fan. After
And there you
tonight.
go. So Andy picked you
Not
twice,
last
even
week.
after you let him down, and he gave you
Yeah.
a reman last week. Now he brings you up here and praises you. See, so,
I
so
know.
he got a huge fan.
I know Andy Shader last week grilled me, and then this week I brought it home for him. Now he's congratulating me after picking me twice in 2 weeks. I didn't think he was going to do it. He did it again.
See the confidence I have in you, Ryan.
Right.
I don't know. You were grilling me pretty hard last week.
Well, maybe that's what got you to straighten up, keep it straight, and get around everybody and bring it home for us. So,
I
but
don't
whatever
know,
it was,
I kind of put down a back burner because I know that was a bad week for me last week.
absolutely. But it was great for great entertainment, though.
Oh, it was.
We thank you, Ryan, for putting on an awesome show for us all tonight and bringing home the booth victory for me. But putting on a great show. We obviously thank you for your service.
Yeah, it's more important.
I don't think I know we try all the time to tell you guys this, and you probably don't get enough of it. But thank you for your service and what you do for us.
I appreciate it, and I don't do this for people telling me thank you for your service. I do it because I picked it and chose to serve. But at the end of the day, I chose it. But when I hear people say thank you for your service, it's kind of like it gives me a pick me up because I'm like, oh, there's actually people who care. But at the end of the day, I did it because I chose it. I didn't do it for the congratulations, but it's still great to see that people actually care for the people who serve.
And Puppet Master chimes in and says, "Good job, Ryan." So there you go.
So you got some people chiming in on the YouTube for you. But Ryan, have a great week off. Enjoy your 4th of July, Independence Day. Something that Independence Day is pretty good to you guys. I mean, we don't have Independence Day without you guys. So enjoy your holiday. Be safe, and we'll see you back in 2 weeks.
Thank you guys. Can't wait to race back and try to get in the top 5 in points.
There you go.
All right, bud. We'll see you later.
See, now that's what we like to hear. See, guys choose what they do, and they don't expect a thank you. But that's where we all come in, and that's where we have to pick them up and say thank you. Because if it wasn't for gentlemen who voluntarily put their lives on the line, you know what I mean? Where would we be at? And this is such a great country. I know everybody's like down on it right now, but we're still the greatest country in the world. And nobody wants to mess with us. Even though when we're down, nobody wants to come over here and mess with us. And those that did, as Ryan Walters showed tonight on his car, who kind of gave it back to him in a hard way. So, yeah, go ahead
don't mess
and
with us.
don't mess with us, right? And even though we got our Canadians out there, they got our back as well. So, thank you, Chuck McDonald. I know there's a couple other gentlemen out there that are Canadian. If there's anybody else out there who around the world, any vet, any active military, any first responder from any country, absolutely. I mean, come on, we're all inclusive. This is what this is all about. We're all inclusive. Let's fight it out here instead of out there in the real world. And when we can make the world a better place.
Yeah.
I think if two guys come out here and wreck each other on the track, I'd much rather see the fight in Discord than I would a fight in real life. So bring it on.
Heck
Let's
yeah,
do this.
Bring your fan
let's
clubs
do it
with
all
you.
out.
Don't you think we should just have a grudge match between Russia and Ukraine?
Exactly. Just do a grudge match, get it over. Winner has to eat some hot peppers. We'll all call it good, and we'll rack it up and do it again. Absolutely. No,
Or
but
wax the other's legs.
there, wax the other's legs. Or don't forget, tune in 2 weeks, a little bit early. When we go live, we're going to have a trio in honor of my 2 victories. And Andrew Biznett, thank you very much, buddy, for bringing that home. You're going to hear Mr. Dustin Valduzen, Andy Shaner, and Tommy G.D. Abear sing America the Beautiful at the start of the broadcast.
Now,
So
wait a minute. I got to call you out here, Jay, because when you announced what the prize was, you said Dustin and Tommy, and now all of a sudden you've wrapped, because I won tonight, you have wrapped me into this.
A trio. I said a trio.
Yeah, you were involved in the bet last week.
Bet, Andy, you have to do this one.
There you go.
Doesn't matter if you won this week.
When we announced what the victor's prize was earlier, you said Tommy and Dustin.
He said a trio.
He said
a trio. But you weren't. I don't think you were in the broadcast, or you just came in the broadcast, and we didn't call you up yet. So you kind of got in under the radar. But
yeah.
But I did say
you
trio.
are involved in this.
I did say trio.
You bet.
You're the one that made the bet, so you got to kind of come in there. But we'd love to hear your beautiful singing voice.
You just better hope that I don't come in with just a recording that I can push a button after my victory. That every time I push the button, it just says chicken.
Well, I'll sing chicken if you sing the America the Beautiful next week. How about that? We'll have
there you go.
There you go. I can do chicken right now. Can you do America the Beautiful? See, you're backing out.
I just
there
said
are chickens in the trees, and they got them weaky knees. There are chickens in the trees. Won't you listen to me, please? There are chickens in the trees, and they got them weaky knees. There are chickens in the trees. Won't you listen to me, please? See, I just did it, and you're backing out. See that?
And
talk about poultry. You backing out of his own bet.
He said on YouTube that you're guilty by association, Andy.
And you were in the booth last week, so that you can't say you weren't in there.
He's the one that said you won a bet, so we ended up
watch. I'm going to cut this video and send it out there.
No, nope. Because if it's not you, I'm going to hound you, and I'm not going to do yours until you do mine.
Well, so on that note, we had a great night. It was a ton of fun with the chat tonight.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They were fire.
Watching these guys on the track. I mean, the drama at the end. Could we have asked for a better night tonight?
No,
we couldn't have asked for a better night. We got what we wanted at the very end, and what a better time to go. The two that were actually fighting it out for a position ended up bringing out the caution, brought everything back together. We thought Brian Boyd was going to come to the front, showed strength way early in that first run, just ended up just getting a little bit too loose and not able to collect on it. And Ethan Thompson just gets a huge jump and steals it from Devin. I mean, what a night. It looked like it was going to be a runaway. And like I said, you have to pay attention to these things. It's not over until the checkered flag falls. And man, it was not over until that checkered flag flew. And for the second week in a row, drama at the end brings out a different result than anybody was expecting. So that was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I mean, it was awesome. Awesome race. Ton of fun with the chat. Janelle, what's your final thoughts?
It was a great race. Tough blow for Zimmerman, but all in all, it was a great race. I don't know if the caution was a broadcaster jinx or not because we were hoping for one and we got it. So, but it did make for a great ending. Unfortunately, not for Zimmerman. But
Yeah, and that was a tough pill to swallow tonight. Dustin?
Yeah, congrats to Ethan Thompson on the win. Devin Zimmerman heartbreak, like we said earlier. You know, great run by Brad Youngman tonight. You know, coming home P3. I mean, these guys all ran good. They all ran great. Welcome Tanner Lee, the newcomer of the group. Hope to see you out here a lot more. We enjoyed talking to you up in the booth. But welcome to TDR and welcome to the Vets of First Responders League. Always happy to have you. And no, can't really say much more, but thanks to everybody out there for viewing. It was a fun race, a fun night. I think we all had a good show.
Absolutely.
yes, it was a great show.
Awesome.
And where are we in 2 weeks?
2
We're
weeks.
at Nashville Fairgrounds.
Yeah, we go to Nashville Fairgrounds in 2 weeks. Should be an exciting race. I don't know if we've ever raced the next gen cars on the Nashville Fairgrounds in this series with these guys.
Yeah,
So
that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be a tough one. A little bit of a tight track, and these cars, boy, we talk about cautions. We're gonna see some in 2 weeks. Come out, watch that race because there's gonna be some firecrackers. I know we're taking off 4th of July, but that's gonna be some firecrackers on that one. So make sure you check us out in 2 weeks. And Jay, I'm gonna give you the honors tonight.
Well, thank you, Andy. That's mighty kind of you. And I'm hoping to see that we get a bigger field with the return of Ryan Shelton. That'd be great to see him back out there. And let's get a couple more out there that we haven't seen. Mr. Paul Vosberg will come on out. Marty Brown, Sean Warb show up in a couple weeks. Nashville Fairgrounds here. Get everything on the affairs in order. It'd be great to see at least 15, 20 trucks or 15, 20 cars out there. Beating, banging. It's a short track. You talk about tonight being exciting. Finish, I think, in 2 weeks, it's going to be definitely more exciting. Thank you to everybody out there. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the share button. If you don't like us, maybe somebody else will come in here and enjoy our banner. From Dustin, Andy, Janelle, good to have you up here again. And we'll see you from Nashville Fairgrounds in 2 weeks. Happy 4th of July, everybody. And thank you for joining us.